Oh, and we're
We
on.
are on.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Whoa!
Hi, folks.
Hello.
Hey,
Let me
everybody.
minimize this so I can see my notes because that's important too.
I am so
So,
ready for this nonsense.
are you guys ready? Because I think I'm ready. Half of us are repping our custom-made Camp MeadowView t-shirts. The other half are squares, but totally valid nonetheless. I love you guys anyways. I'm kidding.
Look,
On
I'm
We're just setting
brand.
the
pretending
bar
Shout
for
way
out
too
this.
high.
to Ross, who designed multiple
Seriously.
logos.
Yes.
At the drop of a goddamn hat, might I
Yeah.
say too.
What a
Yeah.
badass.
Within minutes. So let's do intros real quick. Welcome to the inaugural the inaugural stream for Game Master Monday presents a a thing from Game Master Monday, the podcast. We will be live streaming a wonderful story in the system of Monster of the Week every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks, including today, at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, and then do the math for your own time zones. It's not my job. 4 o'clock Ross's time. My name is Lex. I'm going to be the keeper, the GM, whatever you want to call it. I like supervising storyteller best, but keeper is the term for Monster of the Week. My pronouns are they, she, so I prefer they, them, but she, her does not hurt my feelings. Go with the vibe. I would love to go, as I've heard many other people say, around the virtual tabletop and have everybody introduce themselves. I'm going to start over here with my good friend Juicy.
Hi, I'm Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd. I'm part of Tabletop Tailspinners, and I'm in All Our Faults, which is a Monster Hearts 2 actual play podcast that releases every other Wednesday. And I am so excited tonight to play Howie, who's just a delightful little weirdo. And I do want to say I've never been more comfortable in a costume for a stream.
Next is going to be Miss Rosie.
Hello, yes, I am Rosalie. Please feel free to call me Rosie for short. I am also a member of a TTN cast. I am on Tabletop Tailspinner Network's new as of Friday. Episode 1 is finally out. I can stop saying soon to be released. Magnificence. It's the D&D 5e podcast. I am playing Chloe Johnson. She's just a girl.
She's just a girl, and also
She's
Magnificence
literally
is...
just a girl, you guys.
Okay, Gwen Stefani.
She's just a girl in the world. All right, down here we've got Ross, again, our wonderful artist for all of our logos. Say hello, my friend.
Hello, my name is Ross. My pronouns are he, him. I'm the game master and co-host and editor out at Blaze of, which is a Filipino-Canadian-led actual play podcast inspired by pre-colonial Filipino mythology. We've been on kind of an impromptu hiatus for a little bit, but we'll be rolling back out with new episodes coming soon. I'm playing RJ, lanky 16-year-old Filipino kid, coming straight out of juvie and working at the kitchen in this camp. So that's kind of the setup.
Over here we have Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor, Spunky Taylor. I will be playing Imani, our totally normal camp counselor in training. So hyped to be here because everybody remembers her totally at this camp. Yeah, she, her pronouns.
And last but certainly not least, Melody.
Hi, I'm Melody. Has cats. You can generally find me on the GMM Discord, the Game Master Monday Discord. That's my home base. So some of you may know of me-ish. And I'm playing Bethany Sumter. She is the spooky one, but she's also very weird as well. She and Howie get along great. Very weird.
So, just as a precursor to or quick overview of what we are doing, we are playing a homemade or home-brewed game of Monster of the Week, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse tabletop RPG So all we need tonight are 2d6 for each of you. All of our players have built clearly their characters, their stats, everything, and their backstories, and I have plopped them into a world that we are going to explore and dig through. This game is very much, if you think of shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Supernatural, it's in that vein of goofy teens or goofy people, or sometimes annoyingly stoic, angsty men going in and adventuring and exploring and learning about evil creatures and fighting them. That's the vibe. We're just going to plop them in the middle of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado and see what happens. So, without further ado, welcome to Camp Meadowview. You guys have no idea how long I've waited to say that. I'm very excited. So, to paint the scene, it is the summer, sometime in the late 1980s or 1990s or early 1990s, a time that we all look at through a VCR filter with an incorrect date and timestamp at the bottom left-hand corner of the frame. A time full of montaging family videos of children splashing in a pool or riding in circles on their bikes. And a time when parents did not helicopter, but instead sent their young children to sleepaway camps for extended periods of time without concern. For many, summer camp is a time for kids to run rampant and get a taste of the freedom they are not afforded during the school year or while under their parents' supervision. For others, it is a different world entirely. We open in a dimly lit office, the wood panel walls covered in years and years of camp pictures serving as a time capsule for the campground's history. The floor covered in a padded carpet that adds just a little too much cushioning in one step to be comfortable. The air full of stale dust that swirls in the light reaching through the single east-facing window as the room's occupants take opposing seats, one in a cushioned but peeling faux leather desk chair, and the other in a flimsy folding chair that never quite sits still on the thick carpeting. Ross, would you like to introduce RJ?
Yeah, RJ is uncomfortable. He had been commuted from a local youth detention facility. They're piloting or have been participating in this community reintegration program where some of the better visitors to the detention facility are allowed to go and support the community by volunteering or I don't know, painting buildings and things of that nature. So RJ was picked because of his some of the skill sets that he displayed, which is cooking and being good around more of the younger visitors. So he is here, and RJ is arms crossed, kind of fresh back into the world, and he is not comfortable, but he's trying to be as polite as he can.
Sitting opposite you is a woman she looks to be in her late 40s, maybe early 50s. She's a white woman with long black hair and dark brown eyes. She introduced herself when she brought you in from downstairs as Deborah, or Debbie, as she says with a sheer smile. She sits down with that kind of slight prick in her knees, or that crackle in her knees, and she looks over at you and she just goes, "So, we've never quite had visitors such as yourself here, but I think given everything, this could be a really good fit for you. It sounds like you're ready to, really do some work. Is that right?"
RJ doesn't really respond. He kind of just is looking around, kind of uncomfortable, and his attending officer coughs behind him, off camera, And he says, "Yeah, I think so, Debbie." And the officer coughs again, and he says, "Oh, geez, man, Miss."
Masterson, but please, I prefer Debbie. And she kind of looks over at the officer and just goes, this
Did
is
you
a
hear that?
summer camp.
Yeah, man.
We're not
Just
in school. It's okay."
cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And
Debbie.
it's,
Um.
yeah. Well, I think you're going to make a good addition. And since you seem to really be passionate about cooking, and uh, you know, we're not the greatest. We'd go with sustainable and nutrition dense over anything else. It's kind of hard to get you know good stuff going in here, but I'm sure you'll make do with what we have. Uh, and yeah, it'll also be good because we are a little short staffed this season. So having an extra an extra older teen involved that can work with our younger staff can or younger kids can help out a lot too. A lot too.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I can make gruel taste good.
okay,
So
fair enough. Do
it'll
you
work out.
have any goals for yourself as you come into this?
Uh, I'd like the chains on my ankles to be off.
She
Right?
kind of stops and like looks down. Uh, yeah, you'll have enough freedom here. And but she looks over
Cool.
at the guard, but not too much. You still have a curfew. You have to have permission if you go off campus, and you're gonna have supervision. And we're gonna be doing weekly check-ins or off more often if need be. I've got my eyes on you.
Sure. Yeah. Hear that, Mike? Weekly check-ins.
Mike
Uh,
kind of grunts back at you, and just takes a step back, as Debbie stands up, and she kind of locks eyes with him. And for the first time in this whole interaction, she kind of goes from being this more kind of demure or kind person and just goes, "So we've got it from here. You left his stuff at the door. I've signed your papers. I got it. You can leave." And the guard kind of gruffly walks away, taking your proverbial chains from you and lets you free. Debbie looks at you and kind of relaxes again and goes, "All right, so much better. We don't need any of that. I will be checking in with you, but
yeah.
I'm very hands off with a lot of the older kids. And if I'm honest with you, you'll be honest with me. I think that's the best policy here. And I'm not about to make you a pariah. I'm not about to out you to everybody. You just do your thing. And if as long as you know what, if no one dies, we're good."
Okay. And um, thank you, Debbie. Um, thanks for standing up for me. Um, I,
Every
I
kid
I
needs a
think
cheerleader sometimes.
I've never had a cheerleader. Um, uh, to your question, a goal. Uh, I think I'd like to learn more about myself here. And RJ's eyes kind of like go blank a little bit, but he snaps out of it pretty quickly. So, yeah, I hear that's what you do at a camp. So
Yeah, I mean, learn about yourself, learn about this beautiful area, and make some everlasting memories. She kind of looks you up and down. She goes, "Why don't we get you out of the uniform? I have put aside some extra clothes. Just I wasn't sure what you were coming with. Use what you want, ignore what you
yeah,
don't like. Um, but let's get you more comfortable. You look a little prisoner esque, and that's not the vibe. That's not what we go for at Camp Meadowview. We go for fun and vibrant and happy. And you, frankly, sweetheart, you look depressing. Let's change that.
Well, yeah, I think Mike brought some of my stuff too, so I'll
Use
go
what
get
you need
changed.
to.
Cool.
And when you're
Um,
ready, come on downstairs. I know some of the other camp counselor and trainings on the other kids are, some of them are going to be showing up soon too. Okay, we've got like 2 days before camp starts, so I want to make
Great.
sure you all kind of feel comfortable with each other, and uh, you can start learning more about yourself through it.
RJ's eyes go blank a little bit again. He says, "I look forward to it."
Sounds like a plan. She leaves you to get changed, and as we step away from RJ, we actually zoom away pretty far from the camp and move all the way over to Denver, Colorado. We come to the Denver airport, and one of these kids that she refers to, these younger campers, counselors in training, is stepping out of the airport, his eyes rapidly adjusting to the bright summer sun after being on a plane for the past 5-ish hours. Um, Juicy, would you like to introduce your character?
Yeah, stepping out of the Denver airport entrance, that wildly crazy airport, is Howie. He's 6'2", he's 130 pounds, soaking wet. And he'll be in 80s style running shorts with legs that are way too long and an oversized green camp t-shirt. His blonde hair is about shoulder length and shaggy and a little crazy. Um, he'd have a mullet if he thought he were cooler, is what I'll say. And he's got this massive backpack that is overstuffed, like a khaki backpack on his back, and he's trying to hail down a taxi, but he's really unsure of how to do this.
I, as your first roll of the game, I will have you actually roll to act under pressure to see if you can figure out how to hail a taxi. So
Ooh,
that's going to be
it
roll plus cool.
oh, good. That's a -1 for me.
Yep,
That is
even
a
better.
9.
Oh, actually, so that's actually a decent out. That's a mixed outcome. So that's your mid-range
My
outcome.
favorite.
So you walk up, you kind of look around, and you finally start to see signs for the taxi stand, which is traditionally where taxis would be. And you manage to get in line, and while you're waiting, you start seeing a couple taxi drivers kind of counting the numbers, hoping that you're not the next one for them. And one of these guys ends up having to take you. And he's this kind of older man with a beer gut, and he looks at you with a scraggly face, and just and he looks at you up and down, you carrying your way too big bag for the situation, and goes, "Where you going?"
Uh, to Camp Meadowview.
Dude, I don't know where the fuck that is.
Uh, hold on. I have notes. And he's gonna like put
Just
down
give
the
me.
bag and nearly fall over, rifle through, and eventually he goes into a pocket. He's like, here's the address. And he'll hand over the paper.
This guy looks at the paper and just starts scratching his very balding head, and he goes, "I think I know where this is, but this might be really far. But I'll get you as close as I can."
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I
And
guess you do have money, right?
yeah, oh yeah. And he will reach into his pocket and like bring out a fistful of quarters. I have some money.
Oh dear God, get in. Oh
Sure.
God.
And he'll like lug the backpack and throw it into the back seat, and it'll take up more space than he does.
The taxi takes off from the airport, and while you start driving, the scenery changes from, that kind of more desolate area around the airport into the city of Denver. And then as you start heading southwest of town, the taxi driver occasionally stopping the cab to pull out a literal map because it's the ambiguous 80s and 90s. So MapQuest is not a thing yet. And He pulls out a map and he's just like, I guess.
Uh, do you need help?
No, I know. Do I need help? I'm fine.
Sorry.
And he starts driving, and the scenery continues changing from large fields to rocky mountains and big plains. And eventually, this guy starts looking at his odometer and at the gas level. And it's been like 2 hours you've been in this car. It's been a long time. And he just kind of just I think we're like an hour away. But honestly, kid, I cannot, like, if I take you all the way there, I'm not going to be able to get any fare back. And
Wait, an hour left?
something like that.
Uh,
Maybe. We're almost to Copperton. I'll drop you off near there. I'm not
okay.
going to go all the way, but I'll
Uh,
drop you off near town.
uh, okay.
I mean, I told you I'd get you as close as I could. I can't. I just realistically, I'm going to lose a whole day here.
All right, all right, all right.
And I don't think you've got enough money to get all the way there.
Uh, uh, uh okay.
So he's going to stop the fare, and you look at it, and about how much money do you think you have?
Probably $15 in quarters right now,
You pull out the
at least.
$15 in quarters, and he just goes, he
Here,
blinks
how
multiple.
much?
He looks at you and he kind of like adjusts his shirt that kind of awkward way that people do when they're about to be kind of shitty, and just be like, "Get the fuck out of my cab."
Uh, okay. Where am I?
Walk about 2 miles that way, you'll hit Copperton. Then you'll have to find camp.
Uh, okay. And
$15
he'll
is not enough for this.
just sort of shut down a little bit and then
Don't feel
grab the
bad
bag and
doing
like
this to Howie.
pull it out, and it like falls onto the side of the road with a thud, like a deep thud. And Howie just kind of waves.
He looks at you and he goes, "Well, if you ever find Bigfoot, make sure you give me some of that reward money." And he speeds off down the road, and you are left about 2 miles away from a town that you've passed through so many times but never really stopped in.
Yeah.
And still an hour or so away from camp with not much more you can do. How is Howie feeling right now?
A bit at a loss for how to proceed. He's gonna like pick up the bag and put it on his back and start walking in the direction he was told after sort of looking. And I think he's just gonna walk and I guess hold out his thumb because his parents have talked about hitchhikers before. So he knows that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay. Well, we'll find out what happens to Howie in a few minutes. As
Uh-huh.
we, like the taxi driver, kind of speed away from him down the road. And
Okay.
as the mountains continue and you cross over the peak and down the other side, we start to open into some thick forests of coniferous trees, up and down switchback roads that traverse the precarious slopes of the Rocky Mountains. We end up coming to the small town of Copperton, Colorado, the last pit stop on the way to Camp Meadowview. Here we will fly through narrow streets with many unfinished side roads, covered only in crushed rock and slate. The main street housing many small businesses that act like lifelines for other smaller communities in the area, including Camp Meadowview. And also, we see a small bed and breakfast where we meet a young girl getting ready for the continuation of her epic summer adventure. TM. Rosie, would you please introduce your friend.
Yes. Chloe Johnson is here. You can see at this bed and breakfast, I think the camera focuses on this ambiguously 1960s, 1970s, somewhere in their Thunderbird that looks like it frankly shouldn't be making the road trip from North Dakota to Colorado before it zooms in through the door um, to Chloe, who is a 16-year-old girl who has driven here on her own. She has 4 duffel bags in the back seat and 1 duffel bag with her here as she is getting ready for the day, pulling her hair up into that obnoxiously high ponytail. She's kind of got the teased it a little bit, that the 80s babysitter ponytail.
Yep.
That one, yeah,
Yep.
it's a little to the side.
Gotcha.
And she probably checks her wallet briefly, thinks about the gas gauge, but she's really hanging on so tight to that $15 to buy this year's camp t-shirt.
Is $15 like what you guys have agreed upon as your only pocket change here? Is that what we're going
that's
with
her.
here?
She does have road trip budget, and she did have extra canteen budget. But here's the thing: her car had to get repaired last night.
Very true. Very, very true. It did. It's as you came into town, you hit just the worst
She
pothole.
has no more canteen money left.
Yeah. So you come down the stairs of this bed and breakfast, and you see the owner sitting in that living room area of all bed and breakfasts, that little awkward sitting area that they anticipate you to be socializing with each other, but everybody kind of goes, I don't, this isn't a hostel, but okay. Um, and she comes over. She's this like mid-30s lady, um, with straight brown hair, and she looks at you and she just goes, "Oh, sweetheart, the mechanic, John, he came by and he fixed up your car. It's working beautifully."
I knew it would work out. I knew it would work out. It's just I knew somebody in town would have the part.
I mean, it's really a surprise he did. Not many people have parts for a Thunderbird out here. It's not really the car we see in the mountains, but you are brave and you got lucky. Um, so you are all set here. I'm not
Huh?
charging you for last night. I
Oh,
can't,
are you sure? Oh my god.
I can't take money from you, sweetheart. You laid it on my doorstep like a kicked puppy. I couldn't take more money from you
Oh, it's
after all
I
that.
mean, oh, okay. Well, I guess. Do you want like a MeadowView shirt or something? I can bring you one back when we're on our way out or something like
I'm,
that.
she kind of looks at you and just goes, "I am perfectly fine without a random camp T-shirt to a camp I did not attend."
Oh well,
It is.
it's great. I wish you had. I wish you had. It was the year that I went before this was the best summer of my life. So
And
I
when
just
was
knew things would work out and I would get here. I knew
that?
it.
Okay, okay. Well, I hope you have a wonderful summer, and if you make it back into town, you always have a safe place to stay here. Just remember, Juniper loves you. I will always have a place for you here, unless
Thank you,
unless
Juniper.
the
You're so sweet.
unless the rooms are all full, then we'll figure something out.
Well, I have a cabin to sleep in for the whole summer, so I'm sure everything is going to be great.
Okay, good for you. All right. Well, John's got your car out front. He's good to go. Uh, and best of luck to you, sweetie.
Yeah, thanks.
You walk outside and you see, this kind of gruff tanned man, with grease all over his hands. You kind of batted your little kid eyelashes and just went, I don't know, and he felt bad, so he rushed to get this fixed. Not for free. You already paid him,
I
but
gave him the whole story about how I worked the whole school year serving pizzas to afford to get this car and to go on this trip, and so determined. And he, bless his heart, helped me out.
he looks at you and he just again like everyone like Juniper did. He just kind of goes, "Well, she's all set. Best of luck to you. I can't promise she'll last forever. The thing is, A, not meant for these roads, and B, if I can be honest, you got a bit of a lemon. But she's running
You,
now.
you know, I'm also not meant for these roads, and here I am. It's gonna work out.
I love that optimism. Just never let that go. You know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Have a great summer, and let me know if you need any help.
Of
Okay?
course.
And you get into your car and start driving. So, are you heading straight to camp? You kind of know where the road is.
I'm behind by like 12 hours. I was going to get here a day early, and now I'm just on time.
Gotcha. So you are kind of motoring your way. How carefully are you driving down these roads?
Here's the thing. Chloe is trying to be careful. She promised many, many people she would be careful at this point, but she slept maybe 6 hours in the past 48.
Cool. So you are not doing so hot. You are kind of making your way, and you make your way pretty far. You're getting down the road, and as you kind of turn these couple last corners, something felt a little off about how you were turning, and eventually you start feeling that very familiar but terrifying kind of ka-chug of your car as
Oh,
it starts
Colin.
to really struggle with the terrain.
No, you got this. You've got this. Come on, you've got this, please. It's just a little bit longer.
And despite your pleading, it ka-chugs, ka-chugs. It sputters out, and the car is dead. And when you look at it, at first you think it might be like dead, but it's turning on. Battery's working. There's no gas in the tank.
That's okay. Okay. So it's way more likely that somebody's going to drive past here and have an empty gas canister or even have some emergency fuel for themselves. We're in the mountains. You need emergency fuel. Anybody who lives here is going to have emergency fuel. So I just have to maybe wait for someone to come. Maybe try and get a little further while if they see me out there with my car.
Okay, well, as you hope for that, we're going to coast away down the road, leaving Chloe to her own devices. And we start to feel that slightly cool stickiness that accompanies larger bodies of water. And the trees open to reveal a small parking lot flanked by an old sign for Camp Meadowview. And it reads Camp Meadowview, established 1948. In the distance, the opposite distance of Chloe, we see. Oh no, sorry, I jumped ahead in my monologue, as we do. In the distance, we can see flashes of light refracting off of the water and can smell the sweet smell of wildflowers as it pushes its way through the robust pine of the trees around the camp entrance, and coming the long way around the mountain, not the easy way of going through Copperton, we hear the telltale sound of another car that is inappropriately suited for the terrain, muddling its way down the unkempt mountain roads. And Melody, would you like to introduce your character?
Yes. Bethany Sumter, she is not yet dressed for camp. Her parents thought that she should be wearing her normal clothes. So she has on a short sleeve polo shirt with a dark pleated skirt, and Doc Martens with long socks that don't match. They never will. Um, she's just kind of in the middle of an argument, actually, with something you can't see, something still in the vehicle that she just got out of. Um,
You look at that big
And
limo, and even you, Bethany, you kind of question how it made its way on those sharp turns. This luxury
yes,
vehicle really shouldn't have. Um, and while you're arguing with your invisible or imaginary friend, there is a very well dressed man who drove you here, who is pulling all of these large, matching, almost bespoke suitcases out of the trunk. Um, and out of habit, because he knows you, he opens up the other side of the large limo, the other door, even though you were the only occupant he knew of. Um, and he stands there while you're fighting, and he just goes, "Miss, Miss, your bags are ready to go."
yes. Thank you, Terrence. Um, Tabitha. Okay, we need to leave now, so you need to get out of the car.
Your friend, who no one else can see, she. Can you describe Tabitha for me?
Yes, she's a small girl. Probably the age she appears to be like 7 or 8. She's in like a peasant dress. She's got kind of like an apron over it. It pantaloons. She looks kind of like just not modern at all.
So this young girl, she starts using this sort of pigeon sign language with you, and she's signing here and there, and it's not what we would consider ASL or any standard sign language nowadays,
No,
but
it's like
it's
more
much
like
more.
frantic.
Yeah, and it's more like
Uh,
home signs, where you just kind of go, we got this. Like if people were just to talk with their hands at home, and
yeah.
she's looking at you, and she starts kind of like just moving her fingers a little bit, where she's like mocking you a little bit,
Huh.
being like,
Uh, uh, okay, no, no. I'm gonna count to 5. Okay, are you ready? Tabs? No, I'm counting to 5. Okay? Well, I'll count down from 5. 5, 4, 3. Tabitha. Tabitha. 2.
she kind of looks at you at two, and just kind of smiles and very daintily like steps out of the car and gives you a little like sarcastic curtsy.
Tabitha. All right, fine. You get to sleep outside tonight.
She kind of signs to you in a way that is like, says who? What are you gonna do? Stop me?
Maybe. I can put you in imaginary friend jail. It's a thing.
She kind of rolls her eyes a little bit and gives you that, knowing look where she's just like, yeah, 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 and starts walking off. And Terrence is standing there, used to these kind of shenanigans of yours, and he just goes, "Well, Miss Bethany, I hope you have a great summer with your good friend Tabitha, and I will see you in a few weeks."
Terrence, wait.
Yes.
Curve 274.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
I
wanted me to
did.
remind you.
Yeah, that
Yep,
curve is gonna kill somebody, and that
it
somebody.
will.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. So
And
no,
so,
thank you, because it came out
yes,
of nowhere.
it
It came
did.
out of nowhere, and
It did.
yeah. Um, and
I'm
he
just,
holds out a hand to give you to shake you off the way and shake off your hand. I can't talk today. To shake your hand. Um, and he just looks at you and goes, "Best summer, best summer. Remember, best summer ever."
summer. Best summer ever.
He gets back into the strange limo and how it got down these hills. He gets back into that limo and starts kind of lumbering away in that disjointed way that all limos and buses kind of do, where you know In a normal car, you go thump thump when you hit a bump, and it's more like thump thump as you hear it go down the path and up around the mountains again. How is Bethany feeling as she has come back to camp?
Um, she's really excited, and she just kind of like breathes in the wooded air for the second time in her life, and just like is in her element now. And she puts up her little finger next to her face, and she goes, "I'm home."
Well, on that note, you know who's not in their element right now? A scrawny kid on the side of the highway with his thumb stuck out and a gigantic bag that weighs about as much as he does. How is Howie feeling right now?
Oh
Frozen.
God.
Good. Yes. We're good. Sorry, froze for a second. We're good.
Okay. Oh God. Oh God.
As you are sticking your thumb out in that very awkward way in hopes that, your luck might change, um, Imani, what does your car look like? What kind of car do you drive?
Im- Imani is driving her 90s red Jeep Wrangler, blasting music from her favorite horror movie soundtrack, Zapofa. Yes, it's a real movie. Look it up. Uh, it's like great 80s music and stuff. Like halfway, one hand on the steering wheel, other hand fixing lip gloss.
I'm loving the props. It's great. It's great. Um, Imani, you are fixing your lip gloss. You've driven these roads too many times, either yourself or someone has driven you when you were too young to drive. And as you're driving, you kind of aren't fully staying on your side of the road. There's not really many other people here. And you start swerving just a little bit, and right at that last second, you realize you're about to careen towards some random kid on the side of the road. Um, and you swerve out of the way at the last second with a mop of shaggy blonde hair that you know a little too well as it kind of jumps away from the edge of the road. And you see your good friend Howie. But why don't you describe Imani before we bring Howie into the picture?
Imani is Imani has ebony skin, hazel eyes, hair super wavy down side part. She's like wearing her camp MeadowView t-shirt, jean shorts with fishnets under it, and she is so ready. And her makeup on point, wings out, ready to slay this summer adventure.
This is what I mean by this cast going way too hard, but I love it. You stick your head out of the Jeep's window and see your friend Howie, who you've known since you both were like 7 years old through summers of camps. Um, what do you say?
Imani will park next to Howie and be like, Howie?
He left me. He left me.
Who left you?
The cab guy.
The cab left you.
The cab guy. He left me. My quarters weren't good enough. Oh my God.
Okay.
I've been walking for like 3 hours.
Well, go ahead and hop in my car. You can put your bags in the back if you'd like a ride. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got water back there if you want a bottle.
Yeah, please. Oh my God, I'm so thirsty.
I can't believe a cab left you.
Oh my God, he didn't like my quarters.
Oh. Understandable. These are wavy roads, but I'm glad I caught you in time.
Okay. I'll put and I put my bag in the back. And like fall and fold into the passenger seat. Hi.
Hi. Just breathe. Make sure you put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Now, Howie, when you look over at Imani as you're frazzled, you recognize the voice and the face is familiar, but there's something very different about her. She, you usually remember her as this very awkward, kind of squirrely kid, just braces and headgear and glasses with tape on them. And as you're finally coming down from the shock of almost getting hit by a car after being abandoned on the side of the road to walk miles in the heat while lugging your gigantic summer full of clothes or bag full of summer clothes, um, you finally get a chance to kind of breathe, drink some water, stop being dehydrated as hell, and realize that your friend looks really different. Um, just not what you expected.
Uh, Hi, Monty.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, I'm sorry that you remember me. I was like, you excited for a camp? Like as she just continues driving and stuff. She kind of slows
Yeah,
down her speed because she was like kind of speeding up through these mountains, the hills a little bit.
and he's gonna like crush that bottle of water just wholly into his mouth.
Oh,
Like, oh, um, you look different.
I was like, I feel different. I was like, high school life changes you.
Yeah, I got taller.
Yeah, you did. You're really tall.
You- these are not the shoes for gravel.
No.
No.
Hopefully you bought
Um,
extra.
by the way, holy crap! I have so many new notes about Bigfoot.
Oh, Bigfoot. Did you spot him this time?
No, but I got a bunch of letters from the zine people who absolutely have, and they've given me a little bit of proof, although it's a little specious. So I'm trying to work through it, but I'm adding it to the board.
Oh, okay, okay. That maybe you'll find some new evidence in camp this summer.
Yeah, and like, did you hear about the Nazca lines?
What?
The Nazca lines. They're like these images. Apparently, they're like in South America somewhere. I don't know one of those countries. How many? Whatever. Anyways, they like put drawings in the ancient world like on the sides of like hills and on the ground, and you can't tell what they look like. Like when you're at the ground level, but if you take a plane, so like aliens maybe. Who knows? But like I got a lot of letters about that too. My zine is doing great.
I'm so happy for you, Howie. Never change.
Well,
What about you?
Howie info dumps on his zine. You guys are coasting through town and finally making those turns to get onto the road towards camp. Imani, you can answer that question if you would like about being. How are you doing?
It's like, mine's like, I'm just feeling great. I'm just so ready to just be away from family and be in camp. I always have so many great memories at camp.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's better than being alone.
Yeah. But
Shotgun.
we have each other this go around.
So at the same, this is happening at the same time that Bethany has shown up at camp. So it's all kind of happening simultaneously. So as Howie and Imani are finishing their turns down this gravel road that is nobody that doesn't have all-wheel drive should be driving down this. Um, farther down the road, turning so hard, turning her wheel into camp. We go back to Chloe pushing her car up the mountain and into the camp. How you doing? You're pushing your Thunderbird, which weighs like 3 tons, and you're so happy you're kind of on like a downward slope here, and just cranking that wheel to try and get into camp. You are muted, my friend. Rose, you're muted.
I'm muted.
She's just a girl, guys. She's just a girl.
I knew that even though it's like in a mountain, it's like it's mountains, plural. So even though it was uphill for a while, I knew it had to go down eventually. And now we're going down. And it's a little easier. And we're gonna make it, because this is we've done everything we can to get here, and this is not going to stop me.
As you are saying these wonderful mantras to yourself and giving yourself some of the biggest talks, you're turning into camp, and Bethany, as you've been kind of collecting yourself and having another small disagreement with Tabitha. You hear
One of many.
the never-ending little sister disagreements, basically. Um, you hear the sounds of somebody very slowly moving something up these hills, and you see this car getting moving so slowly with a door wide open and some thin, pale legs sticking out from underneath the door as you see this girl that you've never met pushing this car into the parking lot with an exasperated just exhalation when she finally gets it into a place that you could consider a parking spot.
Are you okay?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. I'm Bethany.
Hey, I'm Chloe.
This is Tabitha.
You don't see anything.
You can't
Oh,
see
did
her.
she go to
It's
the bath? She might have gone to the bathroom.
fine. No, but we'll cross that bridge later.
Okay. My arms are so tired. You think it'd just be the legs, but my arms. I've got like 5 bags. Can you help me?
You can try. Can I just magic them into the air?
Why don't you roll plus weird to see if you can just magic them
Yes.
and do some
there.
magic?
Okay. Wait. 11?
Wow, so that is a success. So you kind of move your hands around. Describe to me how this works for you. Like, what is Bethany's magic? How does that work for her? Does she do anything in particular? And what does it look like?
Like, her power is in her charm bracelet, given to her by her aunt at birth. So she's just always kind of had her powers. So she just kind of just flips her hand, and the bags raise.
Yeah, Chloe, you see this girl kind of move her hands, and the bags start floating. And you have no explanation as to why this is happening. Nothing makes sense in your world to this. Um, so yeah, they start floating.
You want me to carry them?
Is it still there, Lex?
Is what's still there?
The bags, are they still floating after I tried to wake myself up?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I looked away for half a second, didn't see you slap yourself. So yeah, they're still there, even though you're, slapping yourself to see if you're awake or if you passed out from heat exhaustion.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're helping. Oh,
It's no big deal.
how'd you learn that?
I don't know.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Cool. I've
You
never
move the
been told
bags.
it's cool before.
You move the bags over closer to the camp entrance, to the end of the parking lot. And this is when we start to hear yet another car coming down the road as Imani and Howie turn their way into camp. And this is just at the time that you all see well, actually, it would only really be familiar to Bethany, Howie, and Imani, the face of the camp director, of Debbie. Um, you guys all see Debbie. She's a very she looks gentle and kind, but you've all seen or at the very least, Howie and Imani have definitely seen moments where she can kind of snap at people. Bethany, not so much, but you see her come out of the admin office that flanks the parking lot, and she's waiting for you all. And behind her, a young man starts to step back out from the admin office as well. And if Ross would like to rejoin the group as RJ again, welcome back. You all.
We love a costume change.
It took a longer time than we always rewrite things and then we go, this will be over in 20 minutes. Never. So you all are now at camp, and as Imani and Howie are parking and getting their stuff out of the car, and RJ joins the group, Debbie looks at all 5 of you and kind of clears her throat and goes, "Well, some familiar faces, some newer faces too. Hi, sweetheart. Uh, Howie, you hit another growth spurt.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you." She's looking up at you. And she kind of stops and she looks at Amani and she just goes, "New faces. Yep, good to see you. Remind me your name again."
Uh, Debbie, it's Imani.
"Oh, wow. Oh. You look really different without the braces. Um, do you
Bonnie?
Hi.
Is that's you?
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm yeah, Imani with
Tuesday,
the puff hair, yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Howie, you did get tall.
Yeah, Howie is
I-
super tall.
Oh,
You were
that's
shorter
normal.
than me when we were kids.
Yeah. Oh god, the growth spurt hurt so much.
Howie and Amani kind of look over at this girl and are like, "You might not remember her. You
Wait.
were." It's kind of that vague familiarity that you have of like, I saw a person once, like 10 years ago, and we used to be good friends, but there's no way I'd really recognize them anymore. But she's got some of the similar features now that you're looking at her, but she's definitely a very vague person.
Hey,
She's probably literally wearing the t-shirt from the 1 year she went to camp many years ago, if that helps.
Well, all of you, new and old and different. This is, and she kind of points over at RJ. This is RJ. He is going to be joining you all this summer as well. He's never been to camp as far as I couldn't. He never. I don't have any record of him. He never said anything about it. So he's never been to the camp. He's going to be working with you all, but also spending some time in the kitchen. So I hope you all welcome him with loving arms and an enthusiastic attitude. So we've got a couple days. I want you guys to kind of breathe it back in. You're in a different position now, okay? And she's looking at all of you, and her eyes kind of flit over RJ because it doesn't really apply to her in her mind. She's like, "You're just here, buddy. You're along for the ride." But she looks at all of you and she's like, "You've all been campers. Now, you yes, once, yes," and she points at both Bethany and at Chloe. "Yes, once, and some of us many times," as she kind of gestures to Howie and Amani. Um, this is different. So it's different for all of us. We've never had junior counselors before, but I'm sure it's gonna be great. We are a little short staffed. We had one person who couldn't make it this summer. Yeah, you guys might remember Aaron. She kind of looks at the three of you who were here last year. Remember Aaron? I haven't been able to get a hold of him for a little while. I'm assuming he's not coming. Okay, and you think
He
back
didn't
to.
go on a Bigfoot hunt, did he?
I mean, I know he likes hiking, but no, Howie.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this.
Bigfoot is real. I will die on this hill.
You
Please
will
don't
die
die.
on
Please
that
don't
hill.
die.
RJ is flashing
I was
back to
guessing
if
the
no one
thing.
dies, it's a success. And this kid's saying he'll die on a hill. Will die
Do
on a hill.
I remember Aaron, Lex?
Nope, the name
No.
is not familiar to
Okay.
you. So it's the other three. You guys remember this? He was kind of similar to how Howie is now, very tall and lanky, but instead had kind of grown into the length where he's got a little bit more bulk to him. He's got kind of beachy, wavy hair with a bit of strawberry-ness to that hair. And he always had a bit of a goatee, a little bit of a douchebag goatee going on. But he was one of the cooler counselors. He's in his early 20s. He's only been there for about a year or two, and he comes only for the summers. But and that he typically he lived in Copperton in the small town not too far from camp, but hasn't come back this summer. And so Debbie looks at you all and she's like, "Yeah, so we're just a little, it's kind of hard to get people to come here if they don't have a connection here. Um, so to work at least. So getting a school teacher from Copperton kind of is perfect, but he hasn't reached back out. But I'm sure everything's good. It's just nice to have a little extra padding with you all here. Um, I have a list of things you guys will be responsible for. And when I say responsible, it's more so that I need you guys to kind of just keep an eye on certain things. I do need you guys to be, you muck out the barn. We got 5 goats this year for the kids to look after. 5 goats. So you got to muck out the barn at least once a day. We're
I
going to
was
be doing.
telling Tabitha something. Sorry.
Oh, I forgot about Tabitha. Forgot about Tabitha. Oh God.
Who's Tabitha? He was just whisper to whoever is next to Imani.
Our imaginary friend.
I thought she just went to the bathroom. I thought Tabitha just went to the bathroom.
No, she's here.
Oh, what?
She's real.
Oh my God, is she invisible? Can you move things so that she turns invisible?
What?
In the past, Bethany's magic has never really done much that Imani or Howie would have seen like last year. Like it's just never. She's been able to do little things, but usually not when people are watching, or it's something that could be passed off as like an illusion or a oh, the lights flicker randomly. Of course, we had a shorting right now. She didn't just magically turn out the lights, something
be
like that. So
ridiculous.
yeah, that'd be ridiculous. We're just in the woods where power lines and water pipes are questionable. Um, that's not magic. Magic's not real. So these flames of invisible people and things moving don't make sense to you.
RJ speaks up and says, I can muck out the goats.
There were only
What?
2 when I was a kid.
What's mucking?
Debbie kind of stops and she goes, "So mucking is you go in with a big pitchfork and you're cleaning all of the droppings and the hay and getting new hay in. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, we usually
Well,
only get a couple, but some of the farmers near Copperton had some extras for us to kind of
Yeah.
help raise and take care of. We just got a couple of them.
Sure.
They're adorable.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would
have
recommend
5
you all
youngers.
kind of rotate that job because
No,
RJ,
RJ looks around and sees people kind of shaking their head. Like, I have 5 younger siblings. I think I can handle this job.
so
It's
you
not a
have
punishment, right?
you're trading. No, it's not a punishment. But it does sound like you're trading 5 kids for 5 kids. I'm
Literally,
really
yeah.
glad that Rosie heard that and got that. But
Yeah.
young goats are
I
kids.
got it. Too.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that after I prep in the kitchen and stuff. So
Okay. I mean, if
Wait,
you
you're
need to
gonna do
choose,
kitchen and then
You shouldn't do both.
what I'm
Well, at least
saying.
watch your hands.
it'll be
And not-
the food first and then the mucking. And I'm not responsible
Well-
for any kids. It's like campers, so I can take on some more things.
No,
Yeah.
you guys will kind of pair up and be in groups for the most part. But yeah, so that's the big thing that needs to happen. And then I need somebody to kind of oversee some of the water activities, not water sports, because somebody had an issue with that with grazing. But okay, some water activities, and then we're gonna have one of you running arts and crafts. We've got theater stuff going on. Oh, Bethany is crazy about arts and crafts, it sounds like.
Mhm.
I do remember you being kind of camping out in there, pardon the pun. And, having somebody who's willing to go on hikes with some of the kids would be good too. But, you can kind of rotate things. And don't forget the theater. We got a bunch of books in the library over there, so you can.
I'll take the theater.
Yeah.
Yep.
That.
Wait, you're
Yep.
into acting now?
Yeah,
Oh
you're
my
into acting now?
gosh.
Really sensitive and it's air conditioned.
Oh.
In that case, I take water activities.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll kind of see what works out in the long run. But, why don't you guys all take your stuff, head on over to the camp. You guys are in dorm 2, the one that's a little farther away this time. You guys are in the big dorm, the big kid dorms. There's a separate
That's
section
cool.
for counselors. We're going to have you guys in that's not going to be counselors, it's going to be junior counselors. So you have your little section in the junior counselors area. Um, go on in. It's you guys have actually you've never seen them. It's like a Jack and Jill situation. So you know there's bunk beds, a couple bunk beds on one side, bunk beds on the other, and a little common area with a bathroom in the middle. So you guys can spread out however you need. A note to the audience: we have decided to omit any of the stupid gender role stuff, and we're going to assume that kids are not going to be gross. So people will go where they please and what makes them comfortable. So we're not worrying about separating based on gender lines or anything like that. So
And what
people
even
just
is
go where they
gender?
want.
Gender? Don't know her.
I mean, my gender is okay.
I'm literally just
something.
a girl.
It's literally just a girl.
I'm not even that. I'm just a thing.
It's whatever.
My gender is Janet from The Good Place. Um,
Kinda same.
Love
yeah,
that.
like femme
Oh.
presenting,
that.
but not really. Off of the personal gender talks, because I know some of us could go on for a while talking about that stuff. Yeah, you guys all can make your way over, and there are 2 sets of bunk beds on either side, so there's 4 beds on each side, 5 of you, so you can split up however you'd like, 3 in one, 2 in another, or 4 in one, 1 in the other. That'd be kind of shitty, but do what you please. It's very bare bones. So, Howie, you're pretty used to when you go into these bunks, because the main bunk areas are pretty similar, where it's bunk beds for the campers. You find the perfect spot for your string wall.
Back right corner, bottom bunk.
There you go. And the rest, as far as I'm
I
aware,
did not
there's
mean to do
nothing
that.
precluding you from choosing any bunk other than Howie. Howie is special.
I think as like everyone's starting to make their way, RJ leans back or stays back and quietly asks Debbie, sorry, Debbie, like even me, I was just gonna sleep in the kitchen. Like that's totally cool. I saw that there's like a cot there. I can
She
I can
pulls
make
you
that
to the
work.
side as they're walking as they all start walking there, and she goes, "I told you I'm not gonna ostracize you. Don't ostracize yourself, okay? You are 16 years old. You've been taking care of your siblings for most of your life, I'm assuming. It sounds like. Go be
Yeah.
a kid."
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
And
I'll
give
figure
up the
what that
mucking.
means.
Give up the mucking sometimes. Let somebody else do it. I know they don't want to, but they also need to learn some stuff about themselves. Some of them need to
Right.
learn how to, suck it up and do a job. And you need to learn that you are not responsible for everyone and everything. You're just a kid.
Copy.
I want to make it clear again. As long as no one dies, I'm signing off on your community service hours. Okay?
Oh, that's a condition. Okay.
She kind of laughs at that and just goes, "That should not be a hard thing to do."
No, sorry. That was supposed to be here, not here. Okay. Yeah. Got
Okay,
it. I got it.
you got it.
Yes, ma'am, Debbie.
Yeah, there's no ma'ams.
Debbie.
Okay,
I got it.
good, good. Just be a kid.
Okay. Go kids. He like walks and catches up with everybody.
These people are
As
all
soon
so
as
awkward in
RJ
such different ways, and I love it. It's great.
as soon as RJ comes in the door, I'm gonna turn him and be like, "How does she not know you've been here before? I mean, you were like an honorary camper, right?"
Yeah, no, this place feels like home. So
It's so good to see everybody again! And Bethany's so cool. I'm so excited, you guys.
Bethany, Tabitha has already found a bed and is like camping out on the like top bunk. And
Top bunk.
and she kind of like dangles her head over and is looking at you like ha 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 ha, you know, as though she can watch you while you're sleeping from that angle.
I wanted top bunk.
Are you?
I mean, you could have top bunk.
Yeah,
if
you can have top
want.
bunk. There's more than one top bunk. There's 4 of them, right?
Yeah, and I'm fine on the bottom bunk over here. It's okay.
It's like-
Tabitha has that bunk. So I can have that one? The top one?
Yeah.
Is she your twin? Is it like twin telepathy? I heard that's a thing.
No?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. I've read about it. Yeah.
Well,
Like when one breaks their leg, the other will know? Yeah.
Yes, that's true, but Tabitha's not my twin.
Oh,
So we don't have it.
Is your twin here?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I'm gonna take the other top bunk.
So as you guys start settling in, it's evening. It is close to 6 p.m. It is June, so the sun is not down. But it is 6:30ish, and you're all settling in, and you hear a rap of somebody knocking at the door. Does anybody go and answer it?
Oh, when there's like a rap on the door, RJ like grabs something quickly from his bag, and he sees that no one's worried about it, and just kind of like puts it away.
Imani would go to the door.
Yeah.
Imani goes to open the door.
After just looking at RJ crazy, like
It's just like kind of ready.
The
like, chill, like chill.
The aggressive paranoia is something. It is something that's to be sure.
Do they have dinner? Maybe they're coming to get us for dinner since, like, I don't know if they have regularly scheduled meals before the kids get here.
Right. Shoot. Maybe I should. Maybe that's for me. I need to prep. I don't know.
It's not camp time yet. We have 2 days.
I haven't eaten all day.
They probably ordered us pizza.
Or we could just like raid the kitchen if we really needed to.
Do you think they have ice cream?
Yeah,
It's like discussing. Well, there's someone still at the door.
Well, this is going on.
Hand is on the door while we talk about food.
As you guys are talking very loudly about food, and a man opens the door and he just goes, "You know, we ordered pizza. And you know, Marcus went into town. He got the pizza. We're coming back." And those of us who have been here more recently, so the 3 who were here the year before, you would see the familiar face of Jacob, who is one of the counselors who was here last year. He is a dark-skinned man with very, short hair that is in some very intricate braids all over his head. And you typically would have seen him in more of like the camp counselor getup, where it's camp shirts with khakis and all that. And he is very much not in that. He's wearing, a plain white t-shirt right now and long jeans, and he looks very relaxed. This is not like the look he usually has. He usually is a little bit more, straight-laced in a way. And he looks at you all and he just goes, we don't open the kitchen until the kids show up. It's too much of a pain in the ass for, 10 of us. So yeah, he looks at 3 of you that he recognizes, kind of stops on Amani for a second and gives her this like fuck look, and just goes, good to see you all. Good to see you.
Hey.
It looks
Hey,
at
Jacob.
the other 2 and is just like, well, my name's Jacob. I am one of the camp counselors. I've been doing this for like 5 summers, give or take. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to hopefully a bit of a break now that you guys are all here. Be nice to have some actual help with some of these kids. But let's go get some pizza. Marcus is on his way. And, there's soda, there's popcorn, there's whatever, but like, and you guys are counselors now, basically, right? I can show you guys the secret stashes. You got food everywhere, man. Well, not
Wait,
everywhere,
what?
because
The
not
secret
everywhere.
stashes.
Yeah, there's.
We kind of knew about some of them.
Yeah, I feel like we need some.
I didn't hear
Yeah.
that. I didn't hear that.
I
Didn't
had
hear
no
what?
clue.
Hear what?
I'm
And
gonna
he
need
turns-
to know more.
He
Wait,
turns
what?
around and
Stashes.
is just like, we're gonna meet right in the middle of, right in the field, in the great field, okay? I know, it's kind of a tradition. We all kind of camp out in the main field the first night for food and, watch the sunset over the lake, okay? Don't make it a big thing. You're just welcome to the Big Kids Club for once. So,
I've never
Let's
been
go.
a big kid.
Same.
you are, guess what? You're big kids now. Welcome. And he walks away. You all can leave to go get food as you wish. You guys want to go
Sorry.
get food? That's fine.
Telling Tabitha.
Oh, thought you were talking to your actual cat in real life, not to
No.
your in-game Tabitha.
Just
And Tabitha is like kind of looking at you, and she's just kind of like, she looks really pensive, as though she's trying to think about like any other secret spots, because she kind of comes and goes as she wishes, and she hasn't told you about any secret spots
Oh,
that you know of. Maybe she knows them, but she hasn't told you.
I guess the whole kitchen doesn't really count as a secret spot, but it was funny to make Jacob sweat. So
Yeah.
well, that's
Yeah.
the secret spot. The kitchen.
the kids aren't allowed in there
Unless you're the midnight snack crew.
I mean, if
Hmm.
we're considered counselors, then we probably just have access, right?
Plus, I can just unlock the door. I'm guessing. So yeah, we're good.
You have keys?
I don't have them yet, but I'm probably gonna wake up really early, get everything prepped. So
RJ knows a secret way in.
Cool.
Mhm.
RJ like narrows his eyes towards you. Like, what do you mean?
You
What do you
all,
mean? I mean,
Use it a secret way? You mean a
you
secret
all
way?
head, you guys all head
it'd
out
be
into
fun if
the
there
field.
was, right?
What do you-
If anybody do it, it would be you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just got here. This is my first time here. I just got here.
You
I'm gonna run ahead. I'm gonna get the kitchen all ready for Marcus's pizzas, and I'll see you all in a second. So yeah, looking
You-
forward with you. Go kids! And like RJ starts to make his way, and like his intention is to get the plates and everything kind of out of the cabinets and drawers where they're usually stored over the winter, and get it all washed and cleaned and ready. And then he's just gonna slip out and hang out by the lake for a bit. There's a specific
Okay.
spot he's looking for.
Okay,
Yeah.
see ya.
cool.
Bye.
So the others, you guys all kind of head out, and do you guys head out right after RJ, or what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna grab my notebook and a pen and sort of stuff all of my notes that I already have, like just
Gotcha.
under the pillow for now.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Bring my purse with
Cool.
me.
Cool. You
Just
guys
have a
all,
bag.
head
I
out.
take a smaller bag out of one of my 5 small duffel bags that it took to bring all my stuff. I don't have one big suitcase. I have 5 very small weekender suitcases.
Love it. Love it.
Maximum
you
chaos.
you all head out, and when you head out into the field, even those of you who haven't been here in a long time, you get this kind of feeling, that feeling of just like freedom that you get when you're in large open spaces. The grass in this field, it comes up to just above ankle height, so it is long, and it's smattered with wildflowers and purple clover, those flowers that you could pick and like kind of get a little nectar out of. And the entire area is just as picturesque as you remember it. There's a path that kind of winds through the center, uh, north-ish through the field, and you know that that's one of the paths towards certain, in the woods campsites, other parts of camp, and different areas as well as some of the hiking trails. And you walk into this field, and in the distance can see the beautiful lake that has never really been named, but you all have colloquially just looked at it as the lake. And the the sun, as it's not setting yet, but it's just starting to touch the edge of the water, between the mountains on the other side of the lake. It is refracting off of the water in kind of this sparkly, iridescent way. And as you're all kind of taking in that moment of just like, huh, we're not in the city, we're not at school, we're free, you hear a booming voice just going, "Pizza time!" as he thunders through camp, and you see this he looks like just a lacrosse bro dude walking through camp holding what looks like 10 pizzas. There are like 10 of you at camp, but he's got like 10 pizzas, and then like a couple of bags hanging from his arm. Very much took the one trip only rule very much to heart, because there's like liters of sodas and chips in the other arm and all that, and he's carrying these plates, and he brings it into camp. And this is Marcus. He has, dark brown hair, kind of in more of like what I think of as a middle school boy look, where it's like kind of floppy, all over, but not quite as long as Howie's hair. And it looks a little purposeful, but not really. And he's very muscular. He's a very kind of built dude. And he kind of looks around, sees the four of you in the middle of the field, and goes, "Ah, squirts! Squirts are here. You guys want food?" And
I pay taxes. We're not kids. We're counselors in training.
We pay you like $2 an hour, maybe.
Wait.
That's more than they pay me at the pizza place.
You pay taxes?
I've had a job for a full year, Howie.
You're working at 16?
How do you think I got my car?
Parents?
Magic?
I don't know.
Well, I drove. Yes, I had a job for the school year. Come on, let's food.
Food.
At the call of food, you see a woman come out from the other camp, the other set of a couple women come out from the other set of cabins. One you recognize as Debbie, another that some of you would recognize as Ella. She's one of the other camp counselors that you all have known for a few years, or not all of you, but at least a couple of you. Ella is a petite girl. She's petite but kind of stocky. Like she's got kind of like that condensed look to her. She's very, she's got some darker skin and long, curly black hair, and she holds herself very confidently, and has always, to those of you who've known her, been the one to be like, "Let's start the camp songs." I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Didn't want to sneeze into a microphone. But she's the one who's always been able to kind of turn a crowd around from being challenging to being like, "Let's sing some camp songs, let's do the call and response things, let's start the campfire and do the whole thing," kind of cheerleader-esque. And then you see a very tall, very, very lean, or no, she's not lean, sorry. A very tall, kind of, also a little bit built, but like, she's about 5'9" woman with auburn hair and very, very striking features. And this is Audrey, another camp counselor. But you guys don't quite recognize her as well. Some of you have seen her, but she's worked with mostly the younger kids, and she's only been with the group for a year or two here and there. Um, so those of you who have seen her wouldn't know her too well. She tends to stick around with the little kids for the most part. And they all make their way into camp, or not into camp, but into the field to join you all. And you see Ella kind of running up, and she just goes, "Marcus, you got some pepperoni?" And he, pulls one pizza, somehow balancing it all, one pizza out of the middle, and just kind of hands it off to her. And she skips off and finds a spot and starts camping out with this little, like, TV tray style pizza dinner in front of her. And she looks at all of you and she goes, "Grab some pizza, take a seat, and enjoy the show. We're in for a wonderful summer. It's going to be great." Um, how are you all
think
doing?
I don't think RJ realized that you guys were just gonna bring the pizza straight here and already had stuff. So I should go get him because I think he was expecting you guys to bring it to the kitchen.
I think he would have set it up so that it was like easy to bring. So maybe somebody brought it to the center. Yeah. Then they said that they were gonna camp out in the center of the field anyways.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
I
RJ,
think
you
RJ
kind
would
of come by. You've got some of the plates, and you set some things up as you walk by.
Yeah,
Are you grabbing a
would have
piece of
happened.
pizza on your way to the lake?
I think I would have went before. Like I would have got
Okay.
all that set up, and then I'd be at the lake while all this is happening.
Okay.
But as I hear like the commotion, and I can hear Marcus saying it's pizza time, RJ would he would have found the spot, and
Gotcha.
he would just be looking into the lake, just appreciating the description that you had said, Lex. But instead of being like overwhelmed with freedom and the promise of summer, he would be seething. He is trying so hard not to bite his lip so that it's bleeding.
Okay.
And he hears pizza time, and he kind of snaps back and kind of whispers to the lake quietly to himself, essentially. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, just just wait for me, please. And he heads back, and he like kind of rejigs his composure, and um, he gets to everybody else, and he's kind of like eyeing everybody, not in a really obvious way, but he's trying to see um, who he would need to fight first, essentially. That's kind of his an immediate sense of space, and he sees that like maybe like a pepperoni pizza is like shoved in his face, and he's like, "Oh, great, yeah, thank you." Starts
You
hopping down.
you come up on this group of, I think there's what, 9 of you here, 10 of you if we include Debbie. And they all kind of look at you, being very begrudgingly taking a piece of pizza and looking a little broody. Um, and you see Marcus. He kind of looks and he goes, "It's your deal, kid. Never seen you before. Never heard of you. I've heard your name's RJ. What's going on?"
Yeah, RJ. Yeah, hello. Never been to camp before. Just trying to figure out how to be here. But thank you for getting the pizzas, man. I appreciate it.
"Oh yeah. I mean, it's a tradition. It's tradition, and you're here. You're part of the crew. Uh, we're gonna we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good."
Since I'm new, I was just wondering, like, how long have you all been with MeadowView? Like, were you all kids here and then now counselors, or? And he's kind of asking the other people, um, not his immediate like junior counselor crew, but he's trying to size up like Marcus and
Gotcha.
those folks. Yeah.
Marcus
And
looks at
Jacob.
you. Yeah, Marcus looks at you and he's like, "Well, I was a camper here. Can't quite give it up. I'm in college though, and parents won't really let me just hang out at home, so I come here during the summers. It's a good way to stay fit, keep me
Fit. Yeah.
active. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I was here for a few years. Not lifers like Howie and Amani, but you know,
Hey,
yeah. Look at this
Hey,
beanpole and
Beanpole.
that kid. Yeah,
I,
that kid's a beanpole, and you know, Imani's changed. I've seen a lot of change in that kid. You know, she's gone through a lot of stuff.
I think
Braces
RJ
are
would
rough.
instinctively. I think RJ instinctively would kind of step in between. I think it's Marcus that's saying this,
Hmm.
that called Howie a beanpole, and is like commenting on Imani. He would kind of instinctively kind of step in between them and kind of pull his direction away from them. And I said, "Yeah, no. So, are you working out? That's cool. What about the rest of you?" And he kind of
Uh,
looks at Howie and Imani, just kind of
was
briefly to see if they're okay.
was there any pineapple?
Pizza?
Yeah.
Dude, no, we're not sadists.
What the?
I highly enjoy pineapple on pizza.
Fine.
Are we
I'll
really
eat
gonna start
cheese.
this discourse right now?
Where's the cheese?
He hands you
I have it.
yeah, he points over at Bethany and he's like, she's got the cheese. There's one or
Bethany.
two others. One or two of them have extra cheese if you're, you know, not right in the lactose intolerant train, but you know, enjoy that and while it lasts.
You can become lactose intolerant.
I don't know. It's called getting older.
I think so.
Yeah, over
Oh,
time.
You say
over
he
time.
says this, and he's literally like 3 years older than you all. Like
Yeah.
he's 19, 20 years old. Like he is not an old guy. He is in college.
So old to
Oh
us.
yeah,
I need
such
to
an
look
old
this
guy.
up.
Wow.
I need to remember to look this up next time we have to go to a lot. This is summer. I shouldn't be thinking about libraries.
I couldn't tell if that was Chloe or Rosie.
Both.
Porque no lo sabes.
Exactamente. Jacob looks at you all. You know, he's a dark skinned man with the beautiful braids, and he is very out of his usual comfort or his usual clothes again, and looks a lot more relaxed than other people might. At you know Marcus being a bit of a lax bro, and he just goes, "You already met me. I'm Jacob. I was not a camper here either, but I saw an ad for camp counselor job. I kind of do odd jobs here and there. This is at least stable for the summer, at least. So, you know, plus I like being outside. It's not a bad gig. Not a bad gig.
You do a great job, Jacob.
I try.
I don't know how you do it.
It's called putting in effort, Howie, and not staying in the theater.
Again, RJ is gonna like step in between and kind of pull his asshole's attention away.
He's just taking
Yeah,
digs
no,
on these
cool, man.
kids.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So, how about the so do we need to? I know we got to eat first, but like, do we get tents out to get all set up,
No,
or?
we're not physically camping out here. We're just like
Oh,
camped out for
got it.
dinner. We're not
Oh,
like
got it.
camping
Got it. Got it.
camping. That's way too much
Oh,
effort for right now. No, we've got beds. Um,
cool.
and you look
Oh,
at
God.
Ella, and you look over, and
Right.
Ella kind of looks at everybody and goes, "Yeah, I'm not sleeping in a tent. As much fun as it is on occasion, I have a skincare routine, and I am not doing that tonight. So we're gonna just hang out and do some other things. But yeah,
Cool.
it's great to be back. Um, I was a lifer. I came here every single summer from the age of 7. Then I had to take a few years off because they didn't let 16 to 18-year-olds come here as campers. And then I'm working here. I've been here for about 3 years. Um,
Nice.
and finally, Audrey looks over at you all, and she's got these kind of striking features that when she's not looking at, she's got really bad resting bitch face, basically. So she's kind of looking a little stoic and a little pissed off until she kind of realizes it's her turn to introduce herself, and then she goes, "Yeah, I'm Audrey. I'm actually a preschool teacher, in the real world, and I kind of like the break by working with like elementary school kids and doing some fun things. We do a lot of capture the flag. I've been working here for like 5 years, 5 summers. It's a nice little break.
So you take a break from kids to go back to kids?
Different
They're different
kids.
types of kids. It's
Some
different. It's a
people
whole.
have a
I don't have to
calling.
wipe. I don't have to wipe asses here.
That.
Imani,
Yeah.
what's a skincare routine?
Oh, it's like you have different products to put on your face so you can get rid of like dirt, acne, oils, and stuff on your face so you can stay young forever.
Don't you just like wash your face with soap?
And you should never just wash your face with soap.
What?
RJ surprised you.
Doesn't have any zits, does he? Juicy? Howie has like pretty clear skin, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's yeah.
I literally have acne cream on my character sheet. I'm so offended right now.
It's
Yeah,
that
he has no
annoying
clue.
genetics of some like teenage boys where they like literally could rub their face in the most disgusting mud, and they'll wake up the next day and everything will look perfect, even better than the day before, even though they like literally just smush themselves in gross
That was
gross
me.
shit.
I was really fortunate.
Oh
So-
yes, Juicy's over here being like, look at me who won the genetic lottery. Ugh.
Bethany like figured out how to do telekinesis. Howie figured out how to get clear skin with just soap. Imani is even prettier than before. You
Oh, thanks.
guys.
Wait,
And
can we go to
you
the
are-
telekinesis part? Wait.
I-
You do that?
And you've changed so much.
Oh no, I haven't.
You got a car. That's
I got a
new.
car. I
And a
got a
job.
car. I got a
That's
car
a
and a
job.
job. That is true. That is
Yeah.
true.
Don't knock yourself down. So
That is true. I don't have much money left from that job after everything. But
RJ, what makes you decide to work at a camp since you've never been here?
Yeah, I
you
was
don't
kind of
remember
wondering-
RJ?
Should I?
No, this is my first time here. Speaking of which, I was kind of voluntold to kind of come here. You know how it is. So
Yeah, my parents made me come too, but I kind of like it,
yeah,
except
Yeah.
the outside part.
yeah, so something like that. But yeah, that's why I'm here. I don't think I'm really good with kids outside of my family, I suppose, but I'm happy to help. And if those guys give you flack, just they seem nice, I think. But
You are
Oh,
sitting
they
in the
are.
middle of everybody, like right there.
oh, I thought you
As
would have
you're
like.
saying this, nope, you guys are right in the middle of everything as you're having this conversation.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I mean, nobody's really paying too much attention to you. But
I don't
like,
yeah, I don't think he's like blasting it
No.
out to assert dominance, but he's just kind of saying it like if anybody gives you trouble, just I can help.
Keep
Thank
that in
you-
mind.
you look over and Ella kind of like peeks her head over and looks at this little huddle of the five of you and just goes, "We all introduced ourselves. You want to, I don't know, maybe introduce yourself too? I mean, it'd be really helpful to know your names. I know Howie and I know Imani. And Bethany, I met you last year.
I
But
Tabitha's
I
here
don't.
too.
I love Tabitha. She's such a
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Sometimes.
Such a sweet cat. I mean, isn't
Sometimes.
everybody has their ups and their downs. It's fun. But yeah, the other two of you, I haven't met you before.
I'm like looking at
Do I
RJ
need
like,
to start like pointing fingers and calling people out? Because that's what we do.
That's fun. Hi, I'm RJ. I'm uh, be volunteering or working in the kitchen, kind of volunteering. Yeah, first time here. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Glad you'll be in the kitchen. Yeah, they could definitely use the help. I would.
Yeah.
It's between you and me. Even just some salt would be awesome.
Yeah, they
It would
had the
be
salt, they
great.
had the spices under lock and key. I don't know what that's about. So I'll
That
do my
makes a
best to
lot
like
of honestly though. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So
That makes a lot of
I'll do
sense.
my best.
We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. But yeah, no. If I've gotten in with the kitchen, somebody in the kitchen, that's a start at the very least.
Yeah,
hey, I
You know,
remember the food being really good.
I got you.
when it
Yeah.
was never all that like
Oh,
as far as
it
I've
was
been here,
like
it's just never been good.
9 years ago. I was here like when I was little, and I haven't been back since. But now I am.
Oh, I did hear that there used to be some kitchen staff way back then who actually knew how to cook. And it was decent. But no, it's been a lot of like pre-made meals or pre-made like, rehydrated mashed
That's
potatoes.
gross.
Yeah, the rehydrated mashed potatoes, the just, hot dogs on a bun is a lot of that stuff. The freeze-dried eggs in the morning.
Yeah.
And,
There was just a sack that said eggs on it and it was
yeah.
powder.
A sack?
I mean, it's not that bad.
Like, what happened to the
Exactly.
other kitchen staff? Like, I remember the food being so good back in there.
I mean, you would know more than I would. I wasn't. I mean, it was pretty decent at some point or another, but like it really. Yeah, you were here when you were a kid. It was before. No, I was. Oh my God, no, you're right. I remember. It used to be really good. She's kind of a little spacey at
Yeah.
this point, a little bit like can't quite remember that far back. It's a different time for her. Yeah. Well,
I'll
I don't really
I'll do-
remember. I wonder. I can't remember her name either. There used to be a really good head cook. She was amazing. And
Yeah.
such
She
a
was
Super
really, really
sweetheart.
nice.
Super
Such a
nice.
sweetheart.
Oh,
She gave me
yeah.
cookies.
Yeah. Well, either way, neither here nor there. She kind of like
I'll do
stops for a second, and her, tanned face kind of pales a little bit, and she kind of has this like moment of, yeah, she's just not here. I don't know why she didn't come back, but apparently some shit happened. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah,
Can I
it's good.
use one of my starting moves?
What would you like to use?
I would like to connect the dots. And
Please
it lets at the
roll.
beginning of a mystery, it lets me look for wider patterns that current events might be part of. I'd like to know if this person is connected to current events more than they are saying.
So go right ahead. You can roll. I believe that's plus sharp.
Ooh, is it plus sharp? You said.
I don't know. Is it?
Then
You
that.
tell me. I don't have your.
Sorry.
I'm
Yeah, a
assuming.
sharp. Yeah, it is plus sharp, which means I got a 12.
Damn. Okay. I gotta see what you're allowed to get with that. God damn it.
Yep, and I'm gonna just take out my notebook and write down some ideas. I wonder what those ideas are.
Okay. This is the beauty of live gaming, where you need to literally pull out a book and see what you're
Yes.
doing.
And while you're
Fun.
taking a look at that, I think Howie's going to look over to Bethany and go, "Hey, Bethany,
Howie,
how are you doing?
I'm swell.
Awesome. It looks like a lot's changed. I remember Tabitha, but she seems more active.
Yeah, she's been meaner too.
Meaner?
Just more ornery.
Oh, well,
Is
you know
Tabitha
what?
a ghost?
That's what I was wondering.
Okay.
No.
No. Okay.
Well, maybe.
Huh.
Okay. Howie, On a 12, you get to ask 3 of the following questions. You
Oh,
already
3 of
said you
them.
wanted, yep, you said you wanted to know if they're connected to current events more than they are saying, but you may also ask, when and where will the next critical event occur? What does the
Mhm.
monster want from this person? Is this connected to previous mysteries we have investigated? Or how does this mystery connect to the bigger picture?
Yeah,
Is the only
so
previous mystery just Bigfoot?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he's got a
Yes.
couple mysteries. He's
Yes.
got a couple of his own mysteries that, we
Yep.
can see if it's incorporated.
So, is this person connected to current events more than they are saying? Yes, I want that. How does this mystery connect to the bigger picture? By the way, for the audience, so you know, I have my own digital red string board.
Yep.
And then, in addition to that, yeah. How does this relate to a previous mystery, being Bigfoot or alien abductions or the JFK assassination? Your choice.
It's not related to the JFK assassination.
Damn it.
Damn.
I can tell you that with complete certainty. But you kind of think back, and you were here when the food was really good. And Ella's
Mhm.
kind of stumbling over her words, and you kind of put together in your head, you're like, oh my god, there was something that happened back then. There was an animal attack, and, as that was like, it was maybe your first or second year, and that was like, there was a time when they really kept all the kids away from the mess hall for a little longer, not even a little, for multiple days at a time. So there was an animal attack that you were told about, and you had heard at the time. You're like, okay, well, maybe, somebody had gotten injured and they weren't there anymore. Um, in terms of how does it connect with previous mysteries, you have been pretty convinced for a long time that Bigfoot is in the area.
Uh-huh.
So so you are pretty convinced. You're like, animal attack, it's probably Bigfoot.
Got it. I
Probably
will put a
Bigfoot.
dotted line between animal attack and Bigfoot.
Yeah, and then tell me, what was the last question again?
The last one was, how does this moment connect to the bigger picture related to Bigfoot?
So
Or just bigger picture?
to the bigger picture, you're looking at it and you're like, it's been a long time since anything quite like this has happened, and you're like, this means, I wonder if, there's cycles to Bigfoot or cycles to whatever this creature might be that is
Hmm.
causing them to come back or could happen, and you're pretty convinced that something might happen again, but you're not entirely certain. So that is your 3 answers, and I wanted at one point just to have Bethany for a second. Bethany, for a moment, you see it's not Tabitha. You know that this is not Tabitha, but you start seeing what looks like small hummingbirds in the distance, kind of flitting about. And you're pretty convinced for a second that this is that little creature that you have seen before here.
Spoignit! Spoignit!
Zoom tight.
Blush.
Spoignit! Oh, I knew they were real. It's a spoignit!
What's that?
You
What
all
is
look
it?
around and you see
What?
kind of, to you, you're like, that could either be a hummingbird or there might be dragonflies, like those iridescent dragonflies in the distance. But it looks like small, kind of iridescent green creatures. Uh, they kind of come close, but just long enough for you to get a sense that something's there, and then zip away. You never get a chance to fully look at it. It's not clear to
They like
you.
mayflies?
Spoignit?
Are they like mayflies?
What's a mayfly?
How
Oh,
you know?
they're these bugs that come out. They're like usually during the summer. They only live for one day. But
That's
Wait, is
sad.
that real?
yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Couldn't tell if that
Sorry,
was
out of
Howie or
character, I
Juicy.
do have to drop this fact because I do know the scientific name of the order that mayflies are in. It's Ephemoptera, and it translates to one-day wings.
Oh.
I love
Ah,
you.
That
That's
was
very elegant.
lovely.
Yeah.
Imani
Yeah.
will look at Howie. He's like, you know creatures. What's a spoignit?
Yeah.
Spoig.
Yeah, you always had those. Like,
Morg.
you were always flipping through books and stuff.
Is
Come
that
on.
Norwegian?
Maybe.
So-
Spoig.
or is it pig Latin?
It's
No, it
S.
would have an A if it was Pig Latin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oigknit.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. Okay.
Oigknit.
And then he's gonna go back to his notes and like connect dots in his little notebook.
The sun is starting to set, and it's kind of painting a bright red across the lake and spilling onto the meadow. The other counselors kind of look at you all and they're like, "We got a big day ahead tomorrow." Marcus looks at you all and kind of just takes a second to be like, "There's a lot of people here, a lot more than normal." And he's just like, "We gotta get some sleep, okay? I know you're not campers this year. You guys are the big kids, but you know, go to sleep." And he kind of seems uncomfortable commanding somebody who's supposed to be pretty much an equal to him, and he's literally again 3 years older than you. So he looks at you all and he's like, "You can just get some good sleep. We got to get set up tomorrow. You know, the goats are coming in. We gotta set up some of the canoes. We gotta get the campground ready to go, because when 2 days from now, first thing in the morning, those kids are gonna come sprawling in, and it's gonna be crazy. Okay."
Sounds crazy.
Debbie, leave aside. So, Howie was gonna do the theater cabin. Bethany had the crafts. Imani was doing the water activities. Where do you need me?
Where do you want to go? What sort of thing do you want to do? What's your goal for the summer?
There's hiking.
I'm not.
The goats.
Yeah, we do need somebody to, work with the kids
I
during the
kind
day,
of want
not
to be all
mucking.
over the place. I just want to make the most of it. What's something
You
I can do where I can just go all over the place?
You could be a floater. Just go wherever we need you.
Okay.
Need an extra person on one thing or the other, you kind of go there.
Okay. Or like, can I just be like the medic, I guess?
You know what? That is, she kind of pulls out her
then
little.
I can be
she
all
looks
over the
down at her
place,
little
but also I'm
clipboard.
actually like,
She
I
looks
know
at her
where
clipboard.
I have a purpose. Is that possible?
Yeah, she looks down at her clipboard and she goes, "Yeah, you know what? Janice is. She could really use somebody
Oh my
on
God,
the ground."
Janice is still here?
Oh God, you know Janice. She is a peach. She's wonderful, but yeah, somebody on the ground.
Okay,
really
yeah,
only
I'd
bring
love to
stuff
work
to
with
her.
Janice.
Only bring things to her that really needs an adult say. Yeah, and Howie and Amani, you would definitely both remember that Janice is this, old lady who is kind of like, she does this because when she's not a school nurse, she doesn't have another income. And she smokes like 3 packs every 5 hours almost, and she's crotchety, to put it kindly.
If you want orange juice, though, you just have to tell her you're not feeling good. And then you'll get orange juice. And so that's where Chloe's mind is at.
Gotcha. Why am I turning so red? My lights are being weird. Yeah.
I thought it was on purpose for sunset.
No, it was not.
Yeah,
My lights are just being weird. But cool. Yeah, so Debbie looks down at her thing. She kind of puts your name next to, camp nurse. And she goes, "Do you have any first aid training?"
Yes.
Awesome. That sounds great. Why don't you roll the manipulator? I'm gonna have you roll plus charm. Should actually have you guys roll during this game. I'm realizing that would be helpful.
So when I was 10, my Uncle Tim blew his finger off with a firework, and the EMTs told me I did a good job until they got there. And that is my logic on why this isn't a lie. That is a 3 and a 5 plus my charm. 10.
Ooh.
Beautiful. So
Ooh.
that's a success. Yeah, she kind of looks at you and she's like, I mean, again, band aids. You can't do ibuprofen because pills. Um,
No, you could in the
band aids,
90s.
little. Oh yeah, it's the
It's,
90s.
babe, it's the 90s.
Yeah.
Band aids and ibuprofen. Double check the names on labels, all that shit, all that fun stuff. If somebody needs a quick little splint on their fingers, all good. But any broken bones, any, even little fevers, I'm sure you can deal with that. Anything that you think that I trust your judgment on this. You've been sick before. If you needed a doctor, go get Janice. But yeah, stop by Janice's office tomorrow, and I'm sure she'll set you up with something.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think hopefully that's a good combination, a good combination of things. And then she looks over at Marcus and she goes, Marcus, the goats arrived today. They're here. Uh, they're not here. They showed up today. You're on mucking duty tomorrow. And he looks over
Did a
again.
chupacabra get them?
A what?
But chupacabra, it's like a goat blood sucking creature with like big eyes. They're really common down in Mexico.
No, Howie, and Bigfoot's not coming. And what's your other thing? Yeah, there's no Loch Ness sea monster in
The
our lake.
monster.
It could
God.
be just the Jersey
Have you
Devils
ever
or
been
something.
Have you ever been to Loch Ness?
It's really deep. And there are
No.
pictures.
Okay, no,
So you can't know.
Yeah, their name is Nessie. That's a cute name.
no, like just no, like it's no.
Next,
But
Fine.
you're
There's
gonna
no
tell
monsters
me
in
that
this
you don't
lake,
believe
so we don't need to
Roswell
worry
happened.
about it. But there could be jackalopes.
what do you think happened at Roswell?
Obviously, aliens crashed and the government covered it up. Duh. I mean, there are records, lots and lots of interviews. They shut down the whole city. There are receipts. Like totally.
She kind of puts a hand up and just goes, Marcus, you're on. They are taking care. They are going to work with the goats for the rest of the summer. You can take care of it tomorrow. And he kind of, puffs up in his chest and just kind of then sinks and goes, fine. Fucking weird things with their demon eyes. God damn it. Talking about the goats. I personally love
Like
goats
real
out of
demon eyes?
character. Huh?
Like real demon eyes?
I mean, they're sideways. Their pupils go sideways. It's weird. Demonic.
Oh, so it's not like a real monster though.
What? Howie.
Just asking.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Sometimes it does.
Thanks.
Sometimes it does. So what do you guys want to do for the rest of the evening?
Imani's gonna suggest we should go swimming in the lake. Pool party.
Who's going swimming in the lake after dark?
Oh,
That sounds
after
super fun, you
dark.
guys. Let's start making the
Right.
memories already. Well, when there's a bunch of here, we're gonna have to be like making sure they don't drown.
So might as well have fun now. I
Yeah.
could go to the supply shack and grab some glow sticks so it'd be like a little fun party.
I didn't bring a bathing suit.
Probably maybe some extra trunks and stuff in the supply closet.
Okay, good.
You can I mean we can wash your clothes after too. That's an option.
Yeah, we got shorts.
Oh, we have access. Okay.
Yeah, we have access to a lot of things.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of access to a lot of things.
But after dark?
We should just put on more bug spray though, because like
Oh, I have
That's what-
all sorts of bug spray.
awesome.
I have like
You coming,
7
Archie?
kinds.
Yeah, yeah. I saw a couple
I'm
lanterns.
so
in the
sorry. I totally thought that I did meet you, but if you haven't been here before, I must be wrong, and I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I have a friendly face. He kind of
Yeah.
says sarcastically. And he says, I saw some lamps like lanterns in the kitchen. I can bring those too, just to give us a little
Okay.
bit of light.
So
Want
you
it be
guys,
cold? The water?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can get over it. It's party time. It's summer.
It's gonna be just as cold during the day. It doesn't get
Yeah.
hot. It doesn't heat up that quick.
so you guys go to get ready, and Taylor, sorry, not Taylor. Wow, sorry, Imani, you head over to the supply shack, and they've unlocked it. It's open. You guys have access to it, and in here you can find so many activities, so many things, so many fun stuff. You find all the things you're looking for, and you get over to kind of like you get over to this little box, and it's basically a box of like, if we were to have lifeguards, this is what the lifeguards would wear. So it's like red stuff. The thing is though, there aren't any trunks. You find a couple pairs of men's speedos, and those are it's either that or a bikini for Howie, essentially. If he doesn't want to jump in the pond or in the lake in his own clothes. So you find everything you need and head back to the cabin where everybody is getting changed, and Howie is anxiously awaiting whatever options you provide him.
Hey, Howie.
Yeah. Did you find anything?
So here's the options. I found bikini or Speedo or your underwear.
And he'll reach out slowly and grab the Speedo.
Before Howie grabs the Speedo, RJ kind of intercepts or puts a pair of swimming trunks in between, and he says, "You can borrow these. I can."
Do you have extras?
I can just use those guys, so I don't mind.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Sure.
Thank you. I don't want to take yours. No, it's
You could
fine.
use I have a pair of gym shorts.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
And Howie will run away like a gazelle. And
Yeah.
then after like 5 minutes, just the long legs, he just like comes back with a towel wrapped around his top half and just like 8-foot long legs just like sticking out the bottom of the towel.
So
I changed.
With that, you all make your way down to the lake, and it's getting pretty dark. Like the lake is gorgeous at this point. The sun, or not, the sun is set and the moon has come out. It is beautiful and bright. There is no light pollution here, so when you look up, you just see a smattering of stars across the sky. And something that those of you who live in a city typically, or even a town, wouldn't see all that often. And the lake is so peaceful looking that all of those stars and the moon reflect off of it, creating a perfect mirror almost. And you guys want to jump in?
Howie wants to jump in.
Wait, hang
Going
on.
slowly.
We talked about bug spray. I am wearing a crossbody bag.
Yes,
Just
bug spray.
full of T-pose. I don't think T-posing was a thing in the 80s.
Raise your arms up.
Raise your arms up.
RJ's just shaking his
Here.
no.
Imani's wearing like one of those red like Baywatch bathing suit and stuff. And she's,
Yeah.
And she is jumping right in. Cannonball!
Yes.
You guys all jumping in?
Howie's gonna like step by step by step, just like creep into the water, terrified and like cold.
It's very cold. It's that, late June feeling where the air is so warm already, but somehow the water is still icy cold, and then you remember, you've got glacial runoffs from these mountains that are still coming down. that's still coming down, so it is freezing. But
Totally.
in the height of the summer, in the heat and in the sun, this is gonna feel awesome.
Mhm.
Right
Mhm.
at dusk, when all of that stuff is starting to shift, not so much. It's a little bit of a polar plunge going on. So you all jump in and start basically having a midnight rave or not midnight, but a like dawn
Late
or not
noon.
dawn. What time is
yeah.
it? It's dusk. A dusk rave
Yeah.
in the lake. Anything you guys want to do here before I give you anything else?
I'm imagining the Indigo Girls playing on like a boombox on a dock sticking out into the water. And like
Yep.
Howie's just sort of up to his nose, the hair just like floating on the water.
I had cassettes in my car. I got the cassettes out of my car to merge with Imani's collection as well.
You guys have a big tape deck out on
Yeah.
the pier, the small pier that's there, and you're playing, all the 80s, 90s music that you'd like. And again, we're choosing a very ambiguous time frame, so whatever you
Yeah.
feel fits the mood.
It's Cyndi
fits the
Lauper and
mood.
Whitney together.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a mashup.
Nirvana, Della Soul.
There you go.
Yeah. We got a mixtape.
Some
Oh, yeah.
Madonna in there. Yeah.
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 Hell yeah.
So you guys, what's Bethany doing?
Yeah.
She's not completely in the water. She's like, she can't get into the water past her like thighs because she doesn't want to get her bathing suit wet because then she'll get really cold. So she just kind of stands there in the water, like just shimmering, watching everybody.
You see Tabitha, she can't manipulate the water, but you see her, essentially, she's standing her ghost-like figure in the water, trying to splash you as best she can, but at the most you're really getting is the occasional little ripple in the water from this ghost-like presence in front of you. She can't actually do anything. So yeah, she's just like desperately trying to get you like soaked.
Yeah, I'm just like, stop it, embarrassing me.
She laughs the silent laugh that to other people, if they could see her, would look maniacal, but to you see it as a mischievous kid. You guys all party out on the lake for a little while, and Bethany, you're the closest to shore. So you would hear it the most. You hear, not too far away, a growling, screeching sort of sound. If I had audio skills to make it, I would. But it's almost as though you got a cat barking and hissing at the same time. And you hear the bleeding.
Might I give it a try?
Sorry?
Might I give it a try?
You may, go right ahead.
Kind of bat-like.
Get here.
Discord's canceling it out.
Discord's canceling it out.
Okay.
I can see it in your face that it's gonna be so good.
Ooh, let me get it lower. Okay. Maybe it's not worth doing, but I am going to
I have faith in you.
Again. How do I not cancel it out? 0. No, completely.
This had better be good. I bet it is,
Is
though.
it minus 100 sensitivity? No, I need this one.
Nope, now you're muted.
Yeah, now you're dead.
How about this?
No.
Barely.
So close.
I feel like we need a recording of you like separately, and then you just have to put it in like the Game Master Monday.
We'll
put it on the
It'll be bonus content.
I feel very silly, but
it'll be bonus content.
It is not
It will
silly.
be
This
bonus.
is amazing. It's gonna be wonderful.
Oh, I love it.
I'm excited.
Bethany, you better not go off alone after that.
My eyes are on you, Bethany.
Please continue your narration, Lex.
But you
I
also
don't know what's going on yet.
You hear the scampering of hooves and the sound of a bleeding animal that's cut off prematurely.
Does only Bethany hear that?
Oh no, she just hears it the loudest. Some of you hear the bleeding goat and they're just kind of like, what? And then it cuts off and you're like, what? So you all definitely hear the goat. Bethany hears the growling kind of screechy sound.
Okay. Did you hear that?
That sounded bad.
Very bad.
The thing before the goat though.
What was
Did
before the
everybody else-
What
goat?
was before?
It was just like growling.
Could you
like
tell? Was it coming from like the barn?
I couldn't from the couldn't tell.
Should we
Maybe it
go
was a
check?
chupacabra.
I hope not.
Don't worry. I'll go check it out. Lex, this is a move.
Okay. You're gonna
I'm
use
using
one of
my
your moves?
move. Don't worry. I'll check it out.
All right. Let's see what you get to do with Don't Worry, I'll check it out.
Whenever you go off by yourself to check out somewhere or something scary, mark experience.
All right. So mark experience, our first experience of the game. And
I have made a character so foolish.
a character that is so optimistically stupid. Don't worry, I'll check it out. Okay, so you
That's
go off
literally
on
all
your.
it is.
I was gonna say, I'm like, you don't have to roll for
That's
anything.
literally
That's
all
it.
is.
You're just a guy doing your
I'm
guy thing.
literally just a
Just
guy.
a girl.
Yeah, it is.
Just a
It is
girl.
something. You're just a girl. It is something to be sure. So you go off on your own and you head towards the little.
I'm gonna head
farmish.
towards the barn because
Yeah.
I think that's where they were putting the goats.
That is where they were putting the goats. And so you head towards the the little farm area. It is not as grandiose as it's not really a farm. It's really just like a shack that, these goats can go into and you guys can walk around, feed them, take care of them. They're all younger goats, not baby goats by any means, but adolescent. And as you approach, you see that the fence that's around the large area that they typically have to roam in, the fence is slightly ajar. And as you approach, Melody, I sent you a message.
We're good.
As you approach, you go in and you see the body of a young goat lying on the ground with its neck ripped open and eviscerated. And it's not drained of blood, but you look at it and not only has the neck been ripped apart, but so has the abdomen. The abdomen has been gnawed at and chewed at, and you see blood all over the ground as it's dead. It's not, the heart is not beating, but you can see that it is still actively bleeding out. You can see blood kind of coming out from the jugular veins, the demonic looking eyes staring blankly and kind of awkwardly as it looks in opposite directions, its face frozen in a silent scream. The other four goats, you can see them all cowering deep inside the little shed. You see that one of them has a big gash in its side but is still moving. The others seem to be, from what you can tell right now, unharmed, but they are cowering. You don't see another animal here, but you do get the sense that it may have left, whatever it was, may have left quickly. Or why don't you actually roll to investigate a mystery?
Okay, I
Roll.
can do that. I'm not good at that.
Well, that's
I've
what
got a
happens when you go
0.
off on your own. You get to
I
investigate a
know,
mystery
it's almost
poorly.
like I did this on purpose or something weird.
Crazy.
I'm playing with my life
6.
to see what fits the vibe, and I can't quite find it. That's better.
That's
Volcanic.
my too. Red.
Yeah, I'm going with the
I went the other
volcanic
way,
setting.
getting cooler as night comes.
Blood. Blood is red.
Blood.
Blood.
What did you get, Rosie? I missed that.
Yes, what was it?
6.
Ah,
Isn't that a miss?
so you can
But
roll.
yeah,
You can
I'm
roll. You
flipping
can
the
write.
pages
You can
to
mark
remember.
another experience point.
Yeah.
You look around and you are kind of caught very much off guard by the scene in front of you. You knew that it wasn't going to be good just by the sound of it, but you were very underprepared for seeing this level of gore and viscera at a camp that you hold in such high regard in your mind. And it's just a little disturbing to you. You can't quite glean anything. Just a little bit, just a little trauma. You know, we'll get to the big trauma
skin deer
later.
hanging in the garage, but like this is.
It's one thing
not
to see
that.
something that's been like taken care of already. It's another thing to see it actively draining. And in this sort of state of distressed decay. So what do you do?
I would like to. Does the barn have a door that can close completely, or?
Yeah, so there
Does it
is
just go out to the pen?
no, there is like a sliding door that you can pull across and
cool.
latch. It's not the most secure thing in the world. Like, you know that, you know, if anybody were to really want to get in there, they could. But it would hold the goats.
I make sure that like the door is closed. I make sure the gate is closed, and I run back to the lake.
All right. So you run back to the lake.
Guys, I think there's like a bear or a mountain lion or something.
What did you see?
What?
There's 5. How many goats were there in the first place, Lex? Narrator
5.
voice. How many? There's
5.
4 goats now.
A goat?
Maybe 3.5.
3.5.
What do you mean by half? Like a little goat?
No, it's just injured.
So it's half alive?
Well, we can just go look ourselves. Like,
it's really, really gross.
Okay.
Yeah?
I wanna look.
Yeah?
Is it like Inside Out? Like that happens to cows. Like aliens abduct them and then they invert the cows and like spit.
Whoa.
Well, let's see.
I don't think it's Inside Out. I can still see fur, but like it's
like,
all day.
Chloe, it's gonna be okay. Just breathe.
Okay.
Breathe.
Chill. All right, let's go check it out.
Let's go check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
RJ would have brought his backpack with him, and as like everyone's starting to move, he kind of puts on his runners, I suppose, and then he grabs a pair of drumsticks from his bag, and he's just kind of walking.
I'm laughing because I just remembered how he's in a Speedo. I'm so sorry.
I think we would have maybe grabbed a couple of things on the way. Yeah, but yeah, RJ has his drumsticks and he's like chasing after. He's ready.
You, RJ especially, you come up on the scene and you see what Chloe saw.
You see really gross.
Immediately, I would like to investigate a mystery.
Absolutely.
And specifically using my move, I know my prey. So I get a +1 ongoing, investigating, pursuing, or fighting if this is the monster that caused my loss. Even tangentially, Lex.
I know. I'm thinking about where this goes.
Okay.
I'm going to draw those conclusions anyways.
Yeah.
No, you don't get a +1.
Damn. Okay.
But I reserve the right to change my mind on that at any time.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. This is a dynamic move.
Absolutely. But no, right now you do not. But please go ahead, roll to investigate a mystery.
Great. So I have one +1 to sharp. Rolled a 4 and a 5, so that's a 9 + 1 is 10.
Okay, so with a 10, you get to ask a couple questions.
Nice.
So you get to ask 2 questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here?
Damn. I can ask 2 of those?
Dose. Just 2.
Dose.
If somebody else wants to roll to investigate a mystery and get more questions answered, you may. But
I will when we're at the goat.
Oh yeah, I think RJ
Right,
would have
RJ
gone
ran ahead
ahead.
with his drumsticks of terror.
Yeah. Yeah. Specifically, I'm looking for what kind of animal it is. Is it?
Got it.
I think, or what kind of creature is it? And then don't think he cares what's concealed. I think he's gonna ask where did it go. I think that's a question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, what sort of creature is it? Is the first one we're going to answer. So,
Yes.
when you look at everything here, you see claw marks and bite marks primarily. And would you say that RJ knows a lot about animals? Is that something he's like looked into, read into, given his history and given what's happened to him?
Ever since then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you look at it and you're like, this doesn't quite fit a bear. This doesn't quite fit, the typical. Why does it look like two animals are attacking here? Why does it look like two things are going on?
But I'm
But
getting a
there's
sense that it's like one form, but there's like
you
two
look and
kind
you
of
see
vectors
only
of attack.
one type of footprints
Right.
in the muck. Okay, so
Okay.
you see that there's like clear indents in the ground around the goat from the saturation of the blood, that leave footprints, and then you see some of those footprints going off, and you see that it's only really one set and it's consistent. They're not different sets all following the same path or something like that. It is
Right.
one set, one creature, but somehow two animals. And if you had to put names to them, you would go, one of them's got to be some sort of mountain cat creature, and one has got to
Yeah.
be some sort of dog-like
Yeah.
coyote creature.
Yeah. Something more
And so,
canine, something lupine. Yeah.
yes, so
Yeah.
you
Cool.
see something lupine, something more, and then something more feline as well.
Feline. Yeah.
And then where did it go? You see that those paw prints head off. They're not heading across the meadow. They're heading kind of off to the side, but they're heading towards some of the trees, not too far off from where you are right now. And yes, go ahead.
But what can I like extrapolate
Yeah.
where it's going? Is it going back into the forest and
Yes.
into the mountains, or is it?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's definitely kind of going off into the forest and up.
Got it.
You'd kind of assume you're like, it may have been startled off or something like this, like that, and it's gone into the trees towards the mountains.
Okay.
The others arrive, unless you
Yeah.
want to say something else.
No, I think once he gets that sense, the part of the fence that's ajar, RG's going to try and get it fixed as well without touching evidence. He wants
Okay.
to have that
Oh,
opening
I tried to
available.
close the gate on my way out.
But
I
wasn't,
already
like,
touched
fence
the evidence.
ajar?
So there's two
Was
gates.
it-
There's like the gate to the shed
Yeah.
itself, and then there's like the
Yeah.
pen, the big pen
Yeah,
area.
I wanted to shut both of those doors. Sorry, that wasn't clear.
Oh, okay. So
That's okay.
whatever was ajar before is now closed.
Yes, I would have
Sure.
closed it.
Yes.
Because I don't want the other goats to get out.
Got it. Okay. Well,
I assumed that you only closed like the sliding door to the shed itself, not just the pen, or not the pen as well. But you can. We'll say they're both shut. That's fine.
Okay,
That's
sorry
fine.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No,
it's okay.
all good.
That's a minor detail.
Yeah.
No big deal. All right. So RJ gets a lot of information. The other four show back up. How is Chloe more trepidatious about approaching, or is she kind of like
I feel like
leading the group?
she's not like, she has +1 to cool. She's not like super panicked. She has social anxiety, not and like travel anxiety, but not. She's okay when the adrenaline is going, I think, is what I'm trying to.
Gotcha.
So I think it was more like, I can't handle this alone. I don't know how to deal with a mountain lion. Safety in numbers, guys.
Gotcha.
And it's like really gross. So I don't know.
Could Imani read a bad situation?
Absolutely. Read that bad situation. Roll plus sharp, please.
Nice.
That is a 9.
Beautiful. So you can ask one of the following questions. You can ask, what is my best way in? What is my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's my biggest threat, or what's the biggest threat? What is most vulnerable to me? Or what is the best way to protect the victims?
I'm gonna go with, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
So while RJ supposed that it was heading up the mountains, you kind of, as you're looking around, you see just for a second a flash of that, you know, that look of animals when they get light in their eyes at night? You get a flash
Yes.
that there are two sets of eyes watching you from just inside the trees. Uh, sorry, my cat decided to claw at the carpet right at that moment.
Perfect timing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And his name is Moose, so it's very
I
on
think
point.
I,
Very on
I
brand.
think Imani will like nudge RJ and be like, stay cool, but like turn a little bit to the left and look out at the trees.
RJ, you look, and you see, just for a split second before they disappear again, those flashing eyes, two sets of them, and you can get a sense of how big this creature is. It's not as big as a bear, but it seems to be bigger than a coyote or bigger than a. It's not a mountain lion in these parts. It's called a lynx. So it's a little bit bigger than a lynx and a little bit bigger than a coyote. But you see two distinct heads for just a second.
I think as RJ looks at Imani and like gives an understanding nod, and he kind of just like casually and slowly positions himself in between Chloe and Howie and Bethany and Imani, just so that wherever the eyes were, then it would be RJ and then the rest. And he'd be like very casually trying to explain what he understood, while like gripping his drumsticks really tight, but back facing, like he's trying to get, I guess, over the table. He's trying to get whatever is there to attack him, so that he can fuck him up. So like RJ would be explaining, like, Howie, I think this might be in your bag. This, it looks like one creature, and he'd be pointing at some of the paw prints, but there's multiple vectors of attack. Like, there's a bite here and a bite here, and they look like they're ripping apart at the same time.
Howie, in his speedo and towel, is gonna like get down low to the ground. Was the thing exsanguinated?
Why don't you roll to investigate a mystery? Roll plus sharp, please.
Yes, please.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's a 13, baby.
Hell
God
yeah.
damn. So yeah, you can ask two questions.
Oh,
and
Howie
right.
is in his element.
Yeah,
Yeah, Howie
absolutely.
is like conspiracy
Yeah,
theories.
baby. All right.
Connecting those dots in another context.
What sort of creature is it? Is it a chupacabra or something else?
It is not a chupacabra. You look at
Okay.
this. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming you're looking at
The custom question.
like what can it do or what happened here, as well as what sort of creature is it?
Well, yeah. So of the three questions, I was looking at what sort of creature
Or
is it?
you
Like
get
what kind of
two.
creature?
You get two on this one.
It's two, not three. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what sort of a creature is it? As in, like, what kind of a creature could have done this attack? What's its like? Like, is it an animal? Is it a cryptid? Like, is this a strange wound, or is
So-
this like a normal animal wound?
It looks. So cryptids as a whole are the idea of animals in our world, and they're not like, but they are a lot of times based
But they haven't been found yet. That's the only
but they
thing.
haven't been found yet. Exactly.
Right.
So
Right,
you
right.
get the idea that there are very distinct like real animal bites here, but the collection of them is very cryptid-esque. You To answer your question of is it exsanguinated, it is not exsanguinated. So it is actively, like, at this point it's not actively gushing anymore because it's been enough time, but it was. So it
Yeah,
is
that
not
puddle is bigger
exsanguinated.
than it was a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
Howie.
Yeah, but no, there is definitely no exsanguination. You see that the abdomen has been kind of eaten apart. Um,
All right. And is that my 2 questions?
you asked what sort of creature is it, and then kind of what can it do,
Um,
or what
ins-
or what
yeah,
happened here.
I was thinking of what can it do, but I think I'd like to know what thing is being concealed. What is being concealed here?
So I'll give it to you because you got a 13. You know, I can't argue. That's high enough that I can argue giving you a third
And it doesn't
question.
have to be the biggest thing, just what is
Yeah.
something that is being concealed.
So what is being concealed here?
Honestly, the more ambiguous the better.
That's
The more
kind of
conspiracy board strings you can make
Yes.
out of it.
The more red strings I can dot those lines on.
let's see.
I think Howie is like kind of like a spider, just like legs bent, squatting down, like face really close to the wounds, like he can smell them. He's so
I
close.
mean,
He's just fascinated, trying to figure out like this clearly had to have been some kind of a cryptid, whether it's
yeah, like
magical
on
or
the bright
normal.
side, like this is really, really scary. But like Howie,
What?
you
No, this is really
you
cool.
said you wanted to write a book on this stuff, right? Like,
Oh God,
or
yeah.
do
I
you
mean,
still want to do that? Is that
well,
still?
I have a zine. I have a zine.
You have a zine? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, like
Yeah.
this is a really. We have to look on the bright side, you guys. This could be a really cool discovery.
There is no
It
bright
could
side
be.
to an animal being mauled, but okay, to each their own.
I mean,
So
Howie's in that headspace.
The Secret was
So-
published in 2006. Otherwise, Chloe would own a copy of The Secret for Teens and have it in her luggage right now. Okay.
you did
I
actively
believe that.
tell me that yesterday. You actively told me
Yes.
that. Yeah. So
I did
what
Google
is
it.
being concealed here? You find a patch of a little bit of fur that got caught on the lock to the pen, Howie.
Yep.
And you've researched everything you could possibly imagine. You're like, oh well, if I need to know what Bigfoot fur looks like, it can't be X, Y, or Z. When you look at this fur, it is a perfect mixture of the wiry undercoat of a coyote and the mottled kind of thicker fur of a lynx. So it's almost as though this is a creature blended together.
Is
You
it a
can't-
Tasmanian tiger?
I'm not answering that question.
No, that he says that out loud.
He just says it out loud. How's Bethany doing?
Yeah.
Bethany is squeamish, so she is not going to be looking at anything. She's going to be actively probably not wanting to interact with the goats and stuff, so she's just like looking for clues on the walls.
I
The
think
goat
RJ
makes
would
eye
maybe-
contact with you and won't break it.
Yeah.
I think RJ would maybe pick that up and say, we could use a lookout. So if you want to, you don't need to look at this if you don't want to.
Okay, I can look out.
Yeah.
Imani, are
And
you
maybe
doing anything?
that
You
can
looking at
help us.
anything?
I think like Amani is just gonna stay looking at that direction where she saw the eyes at. Maybe walk a small step closer.
When you take a small step closer, you hear a bone-chilling roar reach out across the span of space. And it seems to kind of rattle you to your bones. And this is something I kind of made up, so I want you to roll plus cool.
Okay.
Thank God it's Amani and not me.
Cool. Oof. That is an 8.
Okay, so with an 8, it kind of rattles you. It definitely does, but you are able to kind of hold yourself together. For right now, you're gonna have a -1 on toughness rolls. But you're not running away. You're not terrified. You're just kind of like, ooh, it does not sound normal or natural. And you're close enough that it really does kind of feel like one of those territorial roars where you're like, this thing might pounce at me. So you're definitely scared, but you have control over what you're doing. Howie, you would hear it.
What was that?
You all would hear it.
Maybe it was a
But-
thing.
Think about it, it would probably be frozen for a moment.
Maybe it was the Tasmanian tiger.
She'd probably be afraid to like move because of
Yeah.
like she feel like she takes one more small move, this thing will probably pounce.
Yeah, I think Howie will notice your stillness. Imani, are you okay?
I'm so afraid to
Was it-
move right now.
Was it from that direction?
Yes.
Why?
I
What's
wouldn't step
wrong?
closer. It's like there's something.
Can I send
With
Tabitha that
us.
way?
You can send Tabitha that way.
I will send Tabitha.
So you kind of whisper while you're actively not looking. You whisper at Tabitha to go check it out. And she kind of looks at you. You've sent her off to like look and see what scary things might be out there, but never when it's been this clearly obvious that something's there. So she kind of gives you this look of like, okay, and she flits off. A few moments later, she comes sprinting back to you.
Oh, okay.
I will. I'm trying to think what roll would. She's not rolling anything.
And Bethany can roll it, and can
Yeah,
just
that's what I'm trying to think. I'm
maybe
trying to think.
do,
Act under pressure might be the move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of help
would
her
be-
understand what Tabitha is trying to convey to her.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
That
So
feels good.
roll plus cool.
Which is -1.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Oh no.
Well,
gonna-
actually, no, I got 11.
Nice.
That was such a
What?
funny reaction for an
That was
11.
such a goofy
Seriously,
reaction.
you were like, "Oh man,
Oh man.
it's a critical success. Great."
I'm just,
She
yeah.
really wanted the experience, okay?
Clearly. So, you look at her and you're able to kind of get she's using these hand signals that she's never really used before, but you're kind of getting the context clues where she's going
Okay.
creature with 2 heads. It
heads.
is one head looks like it's ready to, constantly chomp. The other is ready to,
One head is chompy.
and the other one
Sorry, I'm
is
telling
like
everybody else.
hissing. You're good. And one looks like a cat. The other looks like a wolfy creature.
It's a cat
and
dog.
Cat dog was
It's a
out at
cat
the
dog.
time, I think.
Was
I don't know. It might have come out later in the 90s.
Maybe like
but
96.
It's
It's
canon now.
ambiguous. It's ambiguous.
In it now.
It's in it now. Cat dog was a thing in this
You
story.
talk about like the hot
It's a cat
dog
dog.
looking thing.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah,
That's the one.
yeah,
And it.
Love it.
it's
Um,
yeah.
So she
so
got a really good look at
Look at
it,
that
and
table.
she's explaining too that the claws look like they could cut through clothes and skin pretty easily. The thing looks
Oh.
angry, but also not like it's scared. It looks like you interrupted a meal and it's really mad about it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
it was eating. It did look like it was getting eated. That does check out. That does check out. Maybe it's just hungry.
Did
It's
we
probably
interrupt
just
its?
hungry.
Did we interrupt its meal?
I think we
Right.
did.
Should we offer the rest of the goat?
No.
Or like we could go grab some pizza.
Pizza?
Do
No.
that. I'll go get the pizza.
No.
No, don't go on your
there's-
own.
What, Audrey?
There are gonna be little kids here, and if whatever this is thinks they can get food here, then they're gonna be in trouble.
Why do we kick it out? The monster.
I mean, there's always bears here. That's normal, right? But this isn't a bear, but like comparatively. Howie, do you know this, or is it a new one?
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
Did someone mention the 2 heads bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 heads. Do I know of anything with 2 heads?
Give me 1 second. Sorry, there's an ant on my wall, and I want to get it.
You get it. Yeah, I
Got
think
it.
Howie is just gonna be like totally unself-consciously, like despite the speedo and the like towel and being cold, he's just like hair
Yeah.
plastered down his hands because it's still
Mm.
wet, just like, ooh, I'm not sure. That's not a Bigfoot.
Did you get a new cryptid?
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Oh, but I'm writing that down. Potential
You have a notebook and a speed.
new cryptid. Yeah, I have a notebook.
Yeah,
But
where
He just
did
left
he
it
hide
on
it?
the shore.
Where
Is
did
it
he
a
hide it?
Ziploc
Who
On the shore
knows?
bag?
while we were.
He
it
just
was
needs
in
it in the
he, like
waistband.
put it in the back of his speedo, like it was on his flat butt.
Hooked
Yeah.
over.
It was in a
So-
Ziploc bag
Like-
to make it waterproof.
No, he
Yeah.
grabbed it as they were running up the beach
Oh,
Yeah.
when he got his towel. That's
Yeah,
what
got
my
it.
head is. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
where I
am
was at
keeping a live red string board, and maybe we should like throw this out on social media later. But I'm adding green squares for details, and they've got like X's in them until I can find a picture when I think of one.
Perfect.
Yep.
So
we
yeah,
can,
you
we
can
can move
would
the
assume
goat,
this is
or
a
we can go
new-
get some pizza.
Well, we
But
should eat
see,
something
if
before
we
I
feed it, is
jump
it like
on
a
it.
cat where it'll come back for more if we feed it? And if it knows that this isn't a good food source, then it won't come back?
Let's just fight it.
Oh God, I need a
What
camera.
if somebody else would like to investigate a mystery to get more information?
Well, I can roll sharp. I'm good with that.
Would you
I was
like
gonna say,
to-
I feel like I already had my chance when it was just me, so.
So yeah, so why don't, with the information that you got from Tabitha, I'm gonna say, what can I? Well, because I want to give you guys more information before you just start throwing yourselves into combat.
Yeah, RJ's ready.
Long.
So,
Yeah,
like,
you can be
Monty's
ready
like,
and decide to go in for it. It's your
We
choice.
have a move
You're-
called What Could Go Wrong?
Imani's just afraid to move. So she's like
Yeah.
either move forward or bring the monster out to
Yeah.
attack everyone else.
Well then, why doesn't
I think
Amani?
RJ would.
No.
I think RJ would be looking around, seeing if everyone's essentially okay. Imani's definitely not. And if Bethany is trying to like put something together, he waits
Okay.
until
Bethany, why don't you roll plus sharp to investigate a mystery?
Or can I tune in? It's one of my moves.
Yes. Use a move.
Okay, so I can attune my mind to the monster or minion with a rolling plus weird.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice way to
It's
have
really
discipline,
8.
RJ.
You got an 8. So
Yes.
you get to get one question answered out of the following. Where is the creature right now? What is it planning to do right now? Who is it going to attack next? Who does it regard as the biggest threat? Or how can I attract its attention?
How can I attract its attention?
To attract its attention, there are a couple options. You can either start making a lot of noise and physically get closer, making yourself the biggest perceived threat to it, or you can try to take the dinner away.
Oh. Okay. I feel like that didn't help anything. But we should stay really small if we don't want to invoke it.
I'm not. RJ says, "Got it."
Like,
Imani's like, okay.
okay, so do we think it's better to let it know, hey, don't go here for food, or do we think it's better to appease it? That's the question.
RJ says, "The first one," and he turns around and makes sure that like he's the whatever direction it can get to Imani is intercepted by him, and he gets really big. He says, "Get out of here!"
When you
Her.
When you do
Boo.
that, it seems torn for a second.
Mm.
Part of it
Oh,
wanting to
could
lunge,
yeah,
the
could
other
I?
part wanting to run.
Amazing. Could I use fervor, which is another move of mine, or I use toughness instead of charm to manipulate someone? And
Absolutely.
I want
I
to
know
make it like this
typically,
is not a hunting ground.
yeah,
Yeah.
typically manipulate someone isn't for monsters, but I think this is cool, so I think go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Because we just want to do fun stuff, and I say that this is fun.
Yeah. Maybe the move here is that it's like get out of here, and if you attack me, it is not a good time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. 5, 6. So that's 11 plus 2. That's 13.
God
Ooh.
damn.
We are
I-
rolling really
nice.
well today.
Yeah,
Get
like
it.
so few of you have gotten like low numbers that required getting experience points. I was saying few because one is few.
I made a character that harvests EXP.
Yeah.
Well, also one of them you literally just went, I'm going to take experience and be silly.
Oh,
So,
guys,
you know.
everybody, just so you know, you get more experience if you protect me, just for the record.
That's meta.
Right.
Don't get meta.
Yeah.
I don't even know your
oh my-
name.
That's true. I was hoping somebody would
Exact.
catch on to the fact that Howie is like,
Not know Chloe's name.
yeah, he's oblivious. He has no idea. Okay, so what are you trying to do? You're trying to make yourself big and make it go away?
Make it be like this is not a hunting ground because I'm here.
Okay.
And RJ actually gets like he's been pretty subdued. He's not, he's been pretty quiet, though sus. But at this point, he's like crouched over, and it's like his hackles are raising, and he like roars at it.
Okay, so with a 13, both heads, this is the first time you're really seeing it full. Both heads perk up, and it turns, and with some unbelievable agility and speed, it starts running its way through the forest and up the mountain. And you feel pretty confident that it has left the area based on being scared of you. You scared it off essentially. I can't say whether or not it'll never come back.
Yeah.
But
I think that was the
definitely
hope.
scared of you.
Yeah, because like we're in speedos and towels. Like we're not ready necessarily.
What? You wanted to fight them with your fists because you all were like, I want to fight it, and I'm like, you got nothing in your hands. You
I
got
got something in
notebooks.
my hand.
I was like, I got
You have-
something.
Imani's got something.
Imani's got something.
I
know
was
people have
too busy looking at
What
wounds
could
on
go
goats.
wrong, Lex?
Nothing could go wrong just to fight.
Look, not all of us get experience points by running in headstrong for no reason.
Oh, I also have a move that is literally called "What Could Go Wrong."
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
I'm very aware of
I
that.
think
We
at
all
that-
know.
I think at that moment, Howie's just gonna pause and be like, "Whoa, RJ, that was like really cool. Like totally."
Yeah, you like
I was scared.
saved my life.
You were scared, but you have telekinesis.
That doesn't mean I can't get scared.
You know, that's true.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
very fair.
Also,
So-
we need to talk about your telekinesis. What?
Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to, as we wind down for tonight, what is like the last thing you guys want to do? Just a reminder, there is a dead eviscerated goat on the ground. You guys are
Yeah.
all in swimwear and speedos. You need to go to bed. Those are the three big things. I had to throw in the speedos because that's important. I want everyone to remember that.
I want a sweatshirt. I am
Well,
cold.
Did you
Yeah.
bring a sweatshirt
Well, we
to
can go
camp?
back to the cabin.
It's somewhere in my bag. Yes.
Yeah. But
I overpacked. I have sweatshirts to share.
I think Imani will use her Polaroid camera to take a picture of the scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
gross.
would be
Okay.
really cool.
Oh my God,
I can
TV
put that on my
though.
board.
yeah.
Uh,
We could-
no, it might just go to how it's like this is evidence of so the other councils doesn't blame us for this.
Can you take
Thank
two?
you.
Yeah, just limited film, but yeah, I'll take 2.
We can buy digital cameras at the canteen, right?
Or in town?
Not digital cameras, disposable. That's what I meant. Was
Disposable, yeah.
disposable. Digital
Okay.
cameras don't exist.
Yes. Oh God, the
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the flash.
Yep, where it's
The
just
one-
really.
Wait, important establishing question. Can we get the film developed in Copperton?
That's a great question for a time when you go to visit Copperton.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm assuming they have them.
is anyone comfortable talking to Debbie? Because like we need to tell an adult.
Oh, I can talk to Debbie.
I'm not afraid of her, but I'm wary.
Okay, maybe.
But, like, we can all be a united front and
Yeah,
show
totally.
the picture and stuff.
Absolutely. I think we
Once we change
I know that.
clothes,
we get changed. We make sure everyone's safe and okay.
Does Debbie
we
stay
wait until
on
morning?
the camp premises?
Yeah, so she stays in the admin building. There's like a small
Okay.
door, like little place that's also where Janice, the nurse, stays. But if you want to, we'll kind of fast track and do that scene and call it for the night, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys go change. Howie's in his oversized sweatshirt, with his shorts and his scrawny legs sticking out, finally warm. Everybody else gets into more comfortable clothes. The Polaroids have developed, and they are gruesome. They are not something, they're not safe for work sort of thing, in the sense of just gross.
We leave one at the cabin on Howie's board and take the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
with
make
us,
sure.
right?
Yeah, we make sure that
Fair
happens.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take
Yeah,
it for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So you guys head over to the admin building.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So you guys, RJ, you know more about where things are there because you spent most of the day, or like a good chunk of the day there. So you go in, you know that everything that matters is going to be upstairs. So you head upstairs, having to step on that kind of that uncomfortably squishy carpeting again. It's this kind of like grossly. Jesus Christ, my cat's being
Like shag.
sociopath. No, it's like this like gross green color that's like not quite forest green, but it doesn't look like it's faded forest green. It just looks.
Yep.
It's very gross, very 1970s kind of carpeting.
Yeah.
And you go up and you find the room that is Debbie's room. You knock on the door and she opens it and looks at all five of you, and she looks at every single one of you and goes, "What?"
Goat's dead.
We heard a
It's
roar.
really, really badly injured. You said they were on loan from a farm?
We heard a roar, a scream. We ran over, checked it out, and
Okay.
this is what we found. And I'm pointing at the Polaroid.
So on the bright side, there's less mucking to do now.
Okay. She grabs the picture from you and kind of looks at it and goes, "Interesting. Interesting." Okay.
What do you mean interesting?
Should we call the cops? Because like kids are gonna be here.
No.
Animal control?
Yeah.
PETA?
No.
The
no,
FBI? Oh, they can't be
What?
trusted.
I swear to God, this kid is gonna drive me up a wall. I stay out of character about Howie. I love it. She looks at you all and she goes, No. There's no need to get anybody else involved. This, I'm sure it happens. I'm sure, we've got some strange wildlife around here.
Should we have like the littlest goat stay in our cabin just to protect it?
Yeah, should we bring the goat somewhere else?
Oh, no.
Do we need to do that?
No,
Yes.
you don't need to bring goats in. No, no. Get back to your work.
We can make them little outfits with the crafts cabin.
Okay, that is cute though.
She
Can
looks
we
at all
have
of
a
you kind of
cabin goat?
bouncing around emotion-wise, where you're like
Yeah.
moments of terror and anger and then weird elation. And her eyes land back on RJ and they linger there a little longer, and she just kind of goes, "You found this goat?"
Yes. And we're
gonna take care of it, I guess.
Okay. And we head back to our cabins and do our work.
Yeah, and you're gonna do your jobs tomorrow. You're gonna
And
get
we
to
make
work.
outfits for the surviving goats.
Got it.
That is
I
not
think,
your job.
I would like to roll to manipulate someone.
You may roll plus charm.
Now I'm just being silly, but also
Be silly. That's
I
half the
want
fun
to.
of the game.
So 6.
Oh no.
Can I provide help and use my Darken Negotiator
It's okay. You
ability on it? Be goofy.
You may. And then RJ, why don't you roll to I can't think of what you would roll. I'm thinking you
I
could
just really want us to have a pet goat, you guys.
Yeah.
I know you do. What did you So you're doing dark manipulation on this woman? So tell me what dark manipulation looks like for you.
It's a dark negotiator.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like if anyone wanted to roll to see it, but I think Imani's eyes would turn red as she looks straight at
Yeah.
Debbie, and will try to be like, "You will let us have a goat, a cute little baby goat in our cabin, and we'll make sure we take care of it, pristine and everything. And also, like, it will help us learn how to take care of animals better, to have real life, less skills lessons."
I'll have you roll to manipulate person, roll plus charm, please, and I'll have both of you roll plus charm, see if one of you is more persuasive than the other.
Got a 6 on it. I got 4
right,
plus 2, so
Howie's gonna lean over to
failure.
Bethany and just whisper in her ear, "Is it gonna poop in the cabin?"
Howie, we can name it JFK.
What?
Okay.
What was it? What was
Manipulate
it?
person is plus charm.
Cool. That is a 10.
Okay. So you roll a 10 on that. And her eyes, your eyes flash red as you do this, and she kind of looks at you and turns her head a little bit to the side. And just goes, I guess if you're so desperate to put a goat into your cabin, you can. It's usually easier to observe and take care of things when it's in a contained area and not intermingling habitats like that, but okay. We'll see. But your responsibility?
Yeah.
I would like RJ to roll plus sharp with an additional +1.
Is this a keeper fiat, or is this related to my move of I know my prey?
Stop! My cats are being
Come on,
butts.
Moose.
Oh,
Give me a moment.
it's both of them.
It's both of them.
Why it is related to your feat, to your feature, to your move. Roll to read a bad situation.
Promised me that you'd watch out for me. You were supposed to be my cheerleader. Okay.
Taylor, what have you done?
5. So I got a 5, and then
I just wanted to go.
6. So that's 11 plus 1 from Sharp and another one from I know my. That is 13.
Ooh.
Wait, is it Taylor or is it Debbie? Wait.
You can ask, what is the best way to protect the victims? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the biggest threat? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's my best way in or best way out? And you can ask up to 3. I'm going to say you can ask up to 3 because if you decide you don't want to ask others, that's okay. Because I know that this isn't a perfect one, but I wanted you to get this roll in.
Yeah. So I think that read a bad situation. So
yeah,
definitely, are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? And then what's the best way to protect the victims? And I'm thinking about either it's us or the kids that'll be at the camp, just like those who are vulnerable to maybe what
Okay.
a danger. Yeah.
So dangers we haven't noticed. You're getting a feeling that, the person that you met this morning or this afternoon, Debbie, who really was like your cheerleader, who's like, I want to help you, and those all felt like really genuine interactions. There's something very different about the way that this Debbie is presenting herself. She is a lot further, a lot more to the point, and a lot less, you know, oh, go be kids. She's actively telling you to go do. Can you? I swear to God,
Yeah. To like
she's
go do
acting.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's acting very differently than the person she was before. Um, the other questions were best way to protect the victims and what's the biggest threat. Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Biggest threat right now. She's not acting like bad to you. So the biggest threat, you are kind of getting a really bad feeling in the back of your head, kind of like that day,
Mm.
or when you think about that day, I should say.
Hmm.
But there isn't any, she's not done anything that immediately reminds you of that day. So that day, I'll send you information on what your
Sure.
perspective was at that time, whether
Yeah.
or not you still believe it because of therapy or not is up to you, and whether or not you did
Yeah.
therapy is up to you.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm Filipino.
yeah,
Our
I know.
community
That's
doesn't
why that's why I'm giving
believe
you
in
the
therapy
option
or such thing.
because we are in 2024 and that's one thing, but this
Now
is
better. Back
yeah,
then, no, no good.
absolutely. I am not Filipino, so I wanted to let you tell that story, not
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Even though as a white person in that time, I don't think many of us were going to therapy either.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
either way,
anybody was.
I think that was a bad field to be in for many people. But you're not
So
getting the feeling, you're not getting the feelings you had when you think about that day. You're just kind of getting kind of an uneasy feeling
yeah,
about
like
it, like a
alarms.
sixth sense. And then best way to protect the victims, you are immediately going, we need to figure out what this creature was and where it came from, and then find out if it's related to why Debbie is acting the way she is. Because ultimately, the more you know, the better off you'll be in terms of making a choice about what to do. And
Totally.
since you know what can happen in the dark here, or at least you think you do, you don't want to put yourself, given your history, you don't want to put yourself in a position where this new Debbie, who doesn't seem to be your friend, doesn't keep you around and puts those kids in danger.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to
I
protect
think
them and you want to stick around to protect them.
shit. Okay. I think RJ internalizes that, and he's picking up what Dark Debbie is putting down, and he says, yeah, Debbie will go get that goat. We're gonna get some rest, and we'll get ready for tomorrow. But thank you for hearing us out.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Cool.
yeah, just you know,
Yep.
get to bed, I
Yep.
guess.
Got it.
Do what you gotta do. Um,
Cool. RJ turns around and he's mouthing, "We have to go." Good night,
Good
Debbie.
night.
Yeah.
Night, Debbie.
she kind of
Hi,
awkwardly
Debbie.
waves to you a little bit, like if you were to look a little too long, it's like a slightly disjointed wave where she's trying to mimic you, but
Oh,
not. It's not done well. And you all head off for the night, and that brings
uh,
us to the end of. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. RJ would just like relate all of that or
Yep.
relay that. So maybe we're around how he's bored and we're just kind of conversing.
Yeah, like when we get back to the cabin, everyone's like crammed around the lower bunk, and I'm like putting them in the rungs of the bunk above me, like the photo we got, and I'm connecting like red yarn to other stuff I have, like a picture of Bigfoot, the picture of a flying saucer.
You brought your
Like-
own red yarn?
Oh, 100%. I have like red twine, yeah, and like a picture of JFK. They're like tucked into
goat?
the springs above me. And
Not
then
the goat.
Bigfoot-
The goat's there
the
now.
goat.
We're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
make JFK the final girl of that goat family. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then yeah, either that or it could be like a shooter junior, you know, the second shooter. But
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
the dead goats above me in bed, and like
Yeah.
also
We should get like a post-it note to put over that so that JFK doesn't have to look at her dead mom.
maybe, and then
Okay.
Maybe.
there's just
Is
like a note card that just says animal attack 8 years ago, and that's tucked into a spring too.
All right. Anything else we want to say before we do our closing remarks and bits? Okay.
I'm
So
so,
before we-
sorry.
Do not apologize. This was wonderful. Before we completely conclude and get everybody's socials, we have a couple end of session questions for everybody that are typically asked at the end of Monster of the Week sessions, and we will do that here. So, first question: did we conclude the current mystery? I think the answer is no, but you all tell
Oh
me.
no.
Dang,
We
no.
started a
Um,
few.
Yup.
Yeah, we started so many questions.
Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Nope, that goat's dead.
Argument, the injured goat.
That's
So
I would say.
I would argue.
I
I would
would
argue
say,
yes, because the other goats were still there.
Yeah.
I would also
But-
argue yes because RJ
Yeah.
scared off a creature that was pretty set on attacking Imani.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Did
Yes.
we learn something new and important about the world?
Telekinesis.
Heck yeah.
It is like Dark Debbie.
Oh yeah,
Not so little
telekinesis.
Debbie.
Little Debbie.
Where did I?
And then, did we learn something new and important about one or more of the hunters?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It has two
Yeah.
heads.
Still
Control
doesn't know
episode.
Chloe's name though, and that's so funny.
I was actively paying attention to that. I was like, Chloe has yet to introduce herself to anybody other than.
We were doing it on purpose.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not kidding.
No,
yeah.
I loved it. I was like, this is great. I'm not going to point it out in case it's not on purpose. But like,
She
I love
assumes
it.
everybody like knows her, even though she hasn't met half of.
Like she's living in tears.
It was at least Amani will know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All
Molly's
right.
the real one.
So, to end out tonight, we are going to go around the table and we're going to go in reverse order of how we introduced ourselves. To tell everybody where they can find you and what those usernames are and anything else you want to say. So that's going to start over here with our friend Melody.
I'm Melody. Melody has cats on social. I have 3 cats. I love them all dearly. You can find me around the internet somewhere. That's pretty much it.
Taylor.
Hey, I'm Taylor. I'm Spunky Taylor on everything except on Twitch. I'm Spunky Taylor Games. Yeah, just follow me there. I do cosplaying, gaming, TTRPG stuff. Meme master over here. Love the things.
RJ. Sorry, Ross. I'm looking at the screen and that's the
Yeah.
first thing that comes up, of course. So yeah, Ross, go ahead.
It's he, him, me. Hello, I'm Ross. I'm the GM and co-host at Blades of Mayari. You can find us at Blades of Mayari across the socials, bladesofmayari.com, or wherever you find your fantasy actual play podcasts. You can also thinking about getting onto Twitch. So I believe we are Blades of Mayari on Twitch as well.
Rosie.
Yes, my name is Rosie. You can find me on whatever social media you prefer at Rosatyrs. That's ROSATYRS, like Rosie and the little goat folk, and you smush them together and you get Rosatyrs. I am a cast member on Tabletop Tailspinners Network's Magnificence, which is a brand new D&D 5e dark fantasy campaign. I play a person who's still a gremlin, but a much very different one, and is not as obviously a gremlin. Also, you can later this year, I guess, listen to me and Lex together on Improv Madness. I'm
We get to play.
I'm on.
We're ex-spouses
Yeah.
who are on good terms and love each other
Yeah.
nonetheless.
We're
Yet-
adventuring with our couples therapist and the person who married us.
Yep.
Incredible.
It's wonderful, and we
It's so
roleplayed
best.
so much that we didn't even get to combat, and it was great.
It was fabulous.
Yeah.
What else? I'm Sherwood and Pantheon. Ross was also on Pantheon. Go listen to Pantheon. That was a really
Pantheon
fun
was
episode.
wonderful.
Monday, Pantheon.
Grant you up
And-
text, and I ended up recording.
Yes, and Apotheosis Janitor is another episode on GMM. To check.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can be found on GMM as well,
Yeah, that's
considering
kind of
we're
the
all
thing.
friends with
We're all
Grant.
well here now. Well,
Yeah.
I think many of us are lined up to do more of it too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I feel like I've been talking for too long.
That's okay.
I think that's it.
Juicy.
I'm all over the place now.
Oh, golly. Okay. Hi, I'm Juicy
You
Garland,
said it like
Boston
it was
area
a
drag
surprise.
queen.
You were the last one.
Yep. And oops. Yep. You can find me in a bunch of stuff with Tabletop Tailspinners. I'm in All Our Faults, a Monster Hearts 2 actual play podcast where I play a sad boy, messy vampire who makes everybody angry. You can find me on Philly by Night as Alexander, the just most extra Nosferatu. I'm also in a whole bunch of other stuff, and I did not have them prepared, including stuff coming up this weekend. Oh, Saturday, I am playing Mothership with Wanderer's Haven, which I'm excited about. I've wanted to play that game for a while.
So cool.
Yep, I have two characters, the first one and then the backup when I die.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. I love character death. Yeah, so I'm just super excited about everything coming up, and I'm excited for this. Thank you for having me.
And finally, my name is Lex. You can find me on the socials at LexGetPizza. I am what I like to call a TTRPG vagabond. I go where I please. I spend time with cool people and play fun games just because it's a good time. So, you'll find me on podcasts like Tabletop Networks, different shows on Tabletop Networks, Tabletop Tailspinner Network.
Tailspinner.
Yep. I promise
Just
I can
say
talk.
TTN.
It's TTN. And on Game Master Monday, done some little things here and there as well. But yeah, you can find me on all the socials at Lex Get Pizza. And of course, we will all be here next week, same time, to continue the story of Camp Meadowwood. Or Meadowview. Wow, I got my own game wrong. My own game wrong. We're off to an awesome start.
Hey, it's the end of the stream.
I know, seriously. It all falls
Words are
apart
hard.
at this point. That's fine. But we'll continue the mysteries of Camp Meadowview, continue to see what psychotic theories these kids cook up, and go from there. All right? So it was wonderful to see everybody. We're going to mute the mics in just a second for the people on the stream and let you guys look at our outro screen for a few minutes. So
Thank you for
have a
coming.
wonderful night,
stream.
everyone.
Yes, thank you.
It's so good to have you.